we are back in the world of Never Give Up, the generically titled game in which we play a half-elf. Yep, there's the title. A half-elf attending an academy. And also, there is a half-elf murderer on the loose. That's about all I remember from last week. I remember there being triplets. And, one of the triplets quite likes us, gave us a note and ran away, which was very funny. What else has been happening? We have a friend from our past life who's a human who said that he loved us. But we kind of turned him down. And yeah, let's just get right back into it. This night, I couldn't even get myself to fall asleep. Barely had morning come. I quickly got dressed, took the crystal, and headed out to look for Uncle. Oh, that's right. We found a crystal in front of our house, and crystals were involved in the murders, and there was a mysterious stranger hanging around outside our house the other day. So we may be being stalked by the murderer right now. And our uncle is involved in the investigation of the murder, so that's why we're going to go look for him. I ran out into the hallway, wondering whether Uncle Ascol was awake yet. It was, after all, still very early. Good morning, milady. Bernard, I'm glad to see you. Tell me, is Uncle up yet? I have some urgent matters I need to discuss with him. Lord Silverlight hasn't gone to sleep yet. Experiments, you know. One day he'll regret being so careless about his own health. If you would like to see him, he's in his study. But I wouldn't advise disturbing my lord while he's working. Thanks, Bernard. I walked up to the door of Uncle's study. I felt extremely uncomfortable distracting him from his work, but I had no other choice. I knocked. There was no there's a knock sound effect. Okay, is it done now? There was no response for a few moments, but then the study's door opened. Uncle Ascol, that is a very hard name to say. Uncle Ascol appeared in the doorway, and he looked highly annoyed. Bernard, how many times have I asked you not to bother me when I'm working? Mia, what do you want here? I hope you have something truly important to say, since you've made the decision to interrupt my work process. Man, I need to do some exercises for my mouth or something. I'm just feeling super tight and all over the place right now. I would have thought the poem would have been enough to warm me up, but... Uncle was clearly unhappy that I distracted him. I felt extremely awkward, especially if it turns out this rock is nothing more than a meaningless piece of glass. Pardon me. I wanted to show you this. I pulled out the crystal and held it out for Uncle, praying that this would turn out to be something truly important. Uncle cast only one glance at the crystal. It was enough for him to grab me by the arm, which he had never done before, and drag me into the study, slamming the door on the way. Where did you get this? Tell me immediately. I was shocked by Uncle's behavior. Never before had he forgotten his manners. I found it yesterday by the stairs that led into the mansion. Why didn't you show it to me immediately? It was late. I didn't want to interrupt you. I thought that it was dropped by the stranger in the black robe that I was telling you about last morning. The one that was spying on me a few days back. We told him about it this last morning? I don't recall telling him about that, but I'm glad that we did. You then said I must notify you if anything happens. That's why I brought it here. I thought that this might interest you. Well, you did the right thing for once in a while. For once in a while? Not really how you use that phrase, but okay. This really is a very important find. Will you tell me about this rock? Could it really be used by the killer? The newspaper said that the maniac puts quartz crystals... Quartz... Is this game trying to trip me up? Puts quartz crystals in the mouths of its victims. You're so curious. Thanks? Uncle let out a heavy sigh and looked me in the face. All right, I'll tell you about the stone. You see, those idiots from the police think that with the help of this stone and other objects, the murderer is trying to imitate a magic ritual. Though you already know that. I was just telling that to the detective when you decided to listen in on our conversation. Sorry. Never mind. I'm sure that the murderer is a strong mage, most likely a necromancer. It's all precisely about the quartz crystal. Quartz crystal. It has one curious property. When the crystal is used in a specific way, it is capable of absorbing the soul of a living creature and sealing it inside. Oh, so it's like one of them... Are they called soul gems from Skyrim? From the Elder Scrolls? I think they're called soul gems. Necromancers usually used it to later put souls into dead bodies, or golems. At first, I was confused by the fact that the murderer doesn't take the crystals with him. But then I understood. He only needs the crystal as a conductor for absorbing souls at the moment of death. Then the necromancer transfers the soul to some container that he carries around with him for such needs. The crystals that he leaves in the victims' mouths are empty, which means that the murderer kills half-elves, takes out their souls using the quartz crystal, and then transfers them to a safer place. After that, he performs a special ritual with the powder, the contents of which, by the looks of it, he invented himself. The powder masks traces of magic, thus making the observers think that this is only an imitation of a magic murder. If everything really is as I think, then the murderer must really be a very strong and dangerous mage. Uncle's words made quite a strong impression on me. He really is as smart as they say he is. Now, he seemed even more impressive to me than he did before. I wonder why this necromancer only kills half-bloods. I wanted to ask that, but ran out of time. Now leave. I've already told you more than I should have. What? Leave. Don't delay me any longer. Fucking hell, this could be very important to our survival, Uncle. We know that the murderer is stalking us. And we know that we're, exactly the victim profile. I think we deserve some more information. May I ask one last question? No! Jesus Christ, Uncle. You're kind of an ass. All I had left to do was apologize and leave the study. Strangely, despite having found out so much about this case, my curiosity was yet to be satisfied. I was so intrigued that the whole time I had left before going to the academy, I could only think about the murderer, magic, and the detective. We still haven't seen the detective yet, have we? I couldn't get rid of these thoughts even when I entered the academy yard. As usual, I looked around hoping to see Lauren. She'll definitely be surprised when I tell her about the crystals. Stop telling people about the murder case! Mind you, she is also a half-elf, Lauren. So, it may be important for her to know this stuff, but you can't be spreading around confidential information when it comes to these cases. I stood around for a few minutes, but Lauren was still nowhere in sight. Has Lauren been murdered? Finally rang the bell? Finally, the bell rang for class. Maybe Lauren was already in the classroom. But she usually waits for me outside so we can walk into the classroom together. I decided not to make anything of it I had to hurry, especially because the first class was etiquette. Of course, I wasn't in much of a mood for seeing Professor Goldstone. That's the professor we told we love him, just to get out of getting yelled at. That whole lie situation that the professor... Do I have new teeth or something? I feel like I'm tripping over my own mouth. That whole lie situation that the professor believed in is making me frustrated. Nonetheless, Goldstone behaved honorably when he immediately declared that there can be no mutual feelings. Oh well, it's for the best. I walked into the academy and straight away headed for the ethics classroom. This time saying that I'm late because of my feelings for Goldstone definitely won't get me off the hook. I thought we were going to etiquette. Now it's ethics? How long can I keep up with that charade anyway? I walked up to the door and knocked, hoping that it will work out all right. I'm very confused. We're that late? Goldstone's voice boomed from behind the door. Come in. Miss Silverlight? Okay, whatever. Let's just roll with the punches. You're late. I believe there is no need for me to tell you that it's unacceptable for a student to be late to class. Please excuse me. Perhaps you would like to explain the reason of your tardiness? No way am I going to lie again. I'm in too much trouble as it is because of it. I looked around the room trying to find Lauren. She was nowhere to be seen. Could she be late too? That never happened before. I was waiting for Lauren. Lauren Greenhill? The professor had yet to start checking attendance and didn't know that she wasn't in the room. He searchingly examined the students. That's strange. Miss Greenhill is always surprisingly punctual. Somehow, she is one of my best students. Oh, right. Just some casual racism slipping in there that somehow she is one of my best students. I hope that there is a logical explanation for this. And I was more hopeful of Lauren being all right. After all, skipping school is not her style. Be as it may, this still does no justice to you being late, Miss Silverlight. You were supposed to be in the classroom before the bell. And that's out of the question. What's out of the question? Oh, being in the classroom before the... Okay. Alright now, let's stop getting sidetracked and finally start the lesson. Open your notebooks. Goldstone had hardly managed to pick up the baton and walk up to the blackboard as someone knocked on the door. There's a baton? What's the baton for? I think he'd pick up chalk if he's going to the blackboard, but... Maybe it's Lauren. I wish that'd be true. Without her, I always feel so lonely at school. Come in, said Professor in his habitual manner, apparently thinking that it was some student. But no one came in. Further still, the knocking repeated itself. Goldstone cringed but went to open the door. He was gone for several minutes. Apparently the person behind the door had something to tell the professor. You'd think they would still come in when he, says, like, come in. Like, even if they had something to tell him, that you think they'd be like, come talk to me outside. Rather than just keep knocking. Finally, the professor returned to the classroom, and he wasn't alone. Ooh. A young man who I'd never seen before entered the classroom with Goldstone. I wonder why this elf is here. I'm guessing that this is the Dark Elf detective. We knew that the detective was the son of some famous Dark Elf, but... I'm guessing that this is who this is. Is this a new magic teacher or something? Class, a moment of your attention, please. I've just been told terrible news. One of our students, Miss Lauren Greenhill, has gotten into an accident. What? Something happened to Lauren? Oh God, my heart started beating like crazy. Due to this incident, I am compelled to introduce you to Detective Maximilian Blackwood, who is working on this case. Gotten into an accident? Has she been murdered or not? Because that's a really weird way of underselling your friend has been brutally murdered. She got into an accident. Maximilian Blackwood? So this is the elf my uncle is working with on the murder investigation? So Lauren was right. He really is a dark elf. Good morning, students. When he started talking, I had absolutely no doubt. This was the exact voice that I heard that day in Uncle Askold's study. Unfortunately, last night, Miss Greenhill was attacked by the murderer, whom I'm sure you've all heard of. The students broke out in whispers. It happened on her way home from the academy. Oh, as I recall, wasn't this the one time that her cousin wasn't there? The cousin that Lauren had a crush on? Wasn't there to walk her home? I do recall speculating that this meant Lauren was probably going to get killed off. The noise level in the classroom immediately went up. But luckily, Miss Lauren is alive. Oh, good. She's still alive. For now. I heaved a sigh. Lauren is alive. Miss Greenhill must be extraordinarily lucky. The killer got scared off by a dog that one of the locals was walking. Currently, she is at the St. Helena Hospital. I couldn't contain myself and almost shouted out. How is she feeling? Is she badly hurt? She isn't as much hurt as she experienced severe stress, Miss... Wait, so she was just stressed by the incident? That's, that is pretty lucky. To get attacked by a murderer and only end up stressed by it. Miss Mia Silverlight. Silverlight? You're the niece of Lord Askold Silverlight? Yes, that's right. Your uncle told me that you found an important clue that's connected to the murderers. To the murders. Should you be, like, telling the entire classroom? Like, just confidential information like that? As well as saw the perpetrator firsthand. Wow, we are going to be the talk of the entire fucking school now. The class buzzed with noise. I turned my head and saw all of the students dumbfoundedly staring at me. Yep, yeah, I don't know why you would have said that out loud, Detective. Right away, I started blushing. I've never been the object of so much attention before. Well, I didn't exactly see him. More like I only saw his silhouette. But yes, I do believe that it could have been the killer. You are holding up quite brave for a girl who was potentially within a breath of death. A breath of death. Within a breath of death. One of those classic breath of deaths that she was within. A breath of death? A breath of death. A breath of death. I'm afraid it doesn't have as much to do with my braveness as the fact that I still haven't completely grasped it yet. Yeah, we're just big, stupid dummies who don't understand how much danger we're in. We're not brave. I appreciate your honesty. I don't think that the Honorable Professor Goldstone will mind if I take you out of class for questioning. The detective turned to the professor, waiting for his reaction. If that is what is needed for the investigation, then I don't mind. I understand that this is deeply serious, so you are free to go, Miss Silverlight. Hearing that Lauren didn't get badly hurt did make me feel a bit better, but I was still very hurt by what happened to her. Hurt? You mean upset? After all, I could have walked her home. then the maniac wouldn't have been able to attack her. But then again, I'm a half-blood too. Who knows, maybe that day there would have been 2 victims instead of 1. Now that's a disturbing thought. Alone in the hallway with the detective, I suddenly lost courage. Hang on, let me take a drink. Maybe this will help loosen up my mouth. Where are we going now? The police station? Though I didn't have any reasons to fear the police, I still really didn't want to go there.
The police station? Oh, no, we have no need for that rat hole. We're going to your place.
My place?
Why can't we just do the questioning here in school? Don't look at me like that. I merely need to talk to Old Man Askold. Besides, it wouldn't hurt to get your statement as well. Time is of the essence.
Well, yeah, what do you mean it wouldn't hurt to get my statement as well? Isn't that the whole point you pull me out of class? For some reason, I felt ridiculous.
Let's hurry up. The coach is waiting for us. Actually, the coach is waiting just for me, but there's a spot for you, too.
In the coach, we sat facing one another. He looked friendly, but I was still uncomfortable. Riding in a coach alone with a grown man doesn't seem appropriate.
You were so concerned with that girl, Lauren Greenhill, am I right? Is she a friend of yours?
Yes, she's very dear to me. Matter of fact, she's my only friend at the academy.
I'm sorry that something like this happened to her. If only I could prove that the ministry isn't looking for the right guy, then maybe none of this would have happened.
Do they not think that this is related to the murder case? Because I feel like Maximilian is, like, supposed to be rogue. Like, he's not supposed to be on the case or something. If the ministry thinks it's in one direction, but Maximilian has a different theory, seems like they would take him off the case, right? Also, this, ascot is just goddamn huge. I've never seen an ascot this large. Oh. Do you also think that the killer is a necromancer?
That's what your uncle thinks, and I don't have any reason not to trust him.
Does my uncle have any explanation regarding why the maniac only kills half-bloods?
I prefer the term half-elves. Of course, he has a theory about that.
I do recall that, yeah, half-bloods is supposed to be a more of a slur than half-elves.
He believes that the necromancer chooses this specific kind of victim to get as much life force as possible.
Oh? Half-elves have more life force?
The thing is that we, as in elves, belong to a very ancient magical race. Almost every cell of our bodies is filled with magic. And this doesn't concern just the mages. It's true for all elves, without exception. Even for me. The truth is that since my very birth, I've had absolutely no magic powers.
Oh, right, that's right, wasn't it? The Dark Elves are like magical. That's why it's unlikely to see one as a detective. Because they're more likely to become mages, because those are like more sought after in society.
I actually don't consider that a shortcoming, though I do realize that I may seem inferior to other Dark Elves. After all, the Dark Elves are considered the magical elite among other races. Anyway, despite elves having a lot of magic energy, their spirit is very weak. Elves are never as passionate and impulsive as humans can be. We've been living for too long, and our souls are too old. They don't have the energy human souls do. Humans are, on the other hand, a young and absolutely non-magical race. Thus, they are always bubbling with energy.
Are you trying to say that half-bloods, half-elves, possess the qualities of both elves and people?
Again, don't use people instead of... They're both people. Elves and humans are both people. Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. The combination of elvish magic and human energy makes a very powerful symbiosis. Ultimately, the power of a single soul of that kind is equal to dozens of pure-blood elf and human souls.
But why does this killer need so much energy? What can be done with it?
Now that, even I don't understand yet. I believe that your uncle will be able to explain everything. He has just finished analyzing the crystals and promised to surprise me. Perhaps there's something else you'd like to know before we arrive?
Oh, yay, question time. I guess priority-wise, we should probably ask about Lauren first. That seems the most important thing that should be on our mind. Perhaps you could tell me what exactly happened to Lauren? And, most importantly, how is she now?
I found out about what happened to that girl last night, and I immediately went to the crime scene to gather evidence. On her way home from school, she decided to take a shortcut through the old park. As I later found out, she used to always take this road with some young man.
Young man? Oh, you must mean Wilhelm Greenhill, her cousin.
Yes, probably. We still haven't questioned her, so I can't confidently say that.
But you should definitely write down the name Wilhelm. He should be like number one in your list of suspects, in my opinion.
Anyway, the perpetrator attacked Lauren Greenhill when she was just a short distance away from home. He assaulted her from the back and dragged her into the wild elder thicket. The wild elder thicket.
Hang on, give me a second. I am just all over the place today.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. He assaulted her from the back and dragged her into the wild elder thicket. There, he administered a couple blows to the head region to make the victim lose consciousness.
A couple blows to the head region. The head region? I've never heard the head referred to as just a general region.
Apparently, he needed her alive to carry out the ritual of which Lord Silverlight told me. What saved Miss Greenhill was a remarkable turn of events. The bow on her head softened the blow, and she not only stayed conscious, but managed to scream too.
That is remarkable. I don't know how you would figure that out. That it was the bow that saved her rather than just like the killer didn't hit hard enough.
Her scream caught the attention of a dog being walked by one of the locals. The dog lunged at the thicket and scared off the perpetrator. He had to abandon his victim and flee because the dog was followed by its owner.
Now, do we know for sure then that this was the murderer, though? This could have been a completely unrelated attack, or it could be a copycat killer. Oh God, it's scary to even hear about it.
But don't worry. The doctor said she's very lucky, and she got off with only a concussion and some scalp damage. Some scalp damage? That sounds terrible. Miss Greenell also has some wounds on her neck and shoulder, which she got while trying to fight herself free. It's not pleasant, but it isn't lethal either. Ask for more information about Lauren?
Perhaps you could tell me what
Wait, so I can ask the same question again and again, around in a circle? Okay. That's interesting. Also, it'd be nice to have some music rather than just this constant clittering and clattering of the horses and carriage. Okay, let's ask about the killer then.
I would really like to know the detective's opinion on all these crimes. What do you think about this killer?
It's too early to say anything, but I think he's preparing for something big. He's already killed over 24 half-elves and gathered enough energy to make some ancient warrior rise out of its grave. Or to prolong his life by at least 150 years. If he releases all this energy at once, he can wipe out half the city in a blink of an eye.
Jesus Christ! So there's a man walking around who's killed more than 24 people. A horrific crime in itself. You're saying he also has the energy of, like, a small nuke? This is horrifying.
Who knows what someone who took up necromancy is thinking? Studying that type of magic has been forbidden for a couple hundred years now. Perhaps you heard that necromancy is dangerous not only because it's connected to the world of the dead, but also because it completely changes the consciousness of a mage practicing it. Such mages completely lose their perception of the value of life, and their minds gradually go into a borderline state between life and death.
Okay, I guess that's enough of that conversation then. Let's ask about his relations with Asgold Silverlight. I feel like it should be relationship, not his relations. That makes it sound like they've been doing stuff together. He's been having relations with our uncle. How did you manage to get along with my uncle so well? Many people consider him to be a heavy-on-hand elf.
A heavy-on-hand elf?
Plus, his reputation of being a busy, unsociable mage can be daunting as well.
Oh, it's just that I've known him since childhood, and know well enough what he's really like. So he's not too talkative, so he gets tired of company and can suddenly lose his temper. But he's principled and responsible, and always ready to help a friend in need. Lord Silverlight has been friends with my father since they've been studying at the Magic Academy, where they used to always compete for being the top student. Gradually, Old Man Asgold developed his abilities to the point where he surpassed my father by far. They're still friends, but because the old man spends all his time experimenting, they rarely see each other. So these days, I'm the only one who disturbs the peace of that old warlock.
Ask about his lack of magic powers. It's probably not very polite to ask this. The detective said himself that it doesn't bother him. How could it have happened that a dark elf doesn't have any magic powers? I'm sorry for asking, but that truly is strange. I've seen many light elves without magic powers, but all the dark elves I know, or that I've heard of, are strong mages.
You don't have to apologize. If you only knew how often I get this question. But the thing is that there's simply no answer to it. seriously, I was just born this way. Back when my brothers were moving toys with their eyes, reading the minds of pigeons, and doing other interesting stuff, I was out playing with the human kids. I still have a warm spot for humans because they don't care whether I can do magic. They were always only interested in who I am inside. Besides, I am one of a kind, so it's even something I could be proud of. Okay then, I guess that's it for questions. It's weird that the final option is don't ask anything, because we actually asked a bunch of questions. But I'm assuming this is what continues.
I don't think that now's a good time to bug the detective with questions.
Other than all the questions we just bugged him with. Here we are. Isn't the place where you saw that suspicious man somewhere around here?
Yes, I caught sight of him when he was hiding among those trees.
Were you here alone?
Should I say that I was here with Robin? If I mention him, then the detective will want to question Robin as well. Why would he need the trouble? Especially since he hadn't seen anything. I don't see why... I don't see any reason to lie. I guess Robin doesn't really need to fall under suspicion, but I think it's dumb to lie in this case. Be as it may, I wasn't there alone. I'd better tell it the way it really was. Well, at first I wasn't exactly alone.
You mean?
When I came from the academy, I saw my friend from the lower district waiting for me by the gate.
Could you be more specific?
He's a human guy. We've been friends since childhood. His name is Robin Richards. He was here for about half an hour. We had a chat and he left. And almost right after that, I saw that we weren't alone that whole time. I believe my uncle already told you about what happened next.
You'll have to give the address of this Richards fellow so I can send him a summons for questioning. It's quite possible that he could have seen or heard something and not given it any importance. Alright, we have that figured out. I would also like to see the place where you found the quartz crystal.
Yes, of course. I'll show you to it. This is the place where I found the stone, by the first step.
Interesting. It seems that the potential killer was walking around your garden like it was his home. This place has an excellent view of the window. There's such a thick ivy growing under it that I'm sure someone could have used it to climb inside.
The detective came up to the wall, tugged at the ivy, and examined the land beneath it.
There are fresh footsteps here, most likely male. Would you mind telling me what room is up there?
I looked at the second floor window and went pale. That was the window to my room.
That's your bedroom, isn't it?
I frowned and nodded. What if the killer wanted to get into my room and was simply waiting here for it to get dark? Everything froze up inside me.
Your face gives away your feelings. What's the point of worrying that much if nothing happened?
Because it could still happen, you idiot! That's why I'm worried. But it could have, right?
Yes, no arguing there. But no need to panic after everything ending well.
Everything hasn't ended well. The murderer has not been caught. He's still on the loose.
The killer probably hadn't expected that you'd stay out so late. He must have came quite late when, according to his estimates, you were supposed to be home in your bedroom. He was watching your window from here, waiting to see when you go to bed. But something didn't go as planned, and you came home much later. The perpetrator got tired of waiting for you, decided to get out of here, and headed toward the gate, where you caught him. The attack would be meaningless without the crystal that he dropped by the stairs when he was watching your window. That's why he chose to simply flee
Could it be that staying out to talk to Robin saved me from death? It's funny that Robin helps me even when he's unaware of it. I will order for the gardener to get rid of this ivy right away. I doubt that I'll be able to sleep at night if it stays under my window.
Good day, Lady Mia. Detective Blackwood. Lord Silverlight is waiting for both of you in his study. Seems like he has important news for you, Detective. Follow me.
Maybe Uncle already knows who the killer is. Could that be possible?
Maximilian, I think I've managed to unravel one of the killer's conundrums. Mia, what are you doing here? Bernard must have misunderstood something. But since you're here, then you can listen to this too, if you want.
Of course I do. So it was Bernard's mistake to invite me into the study? And I was hoping that I've become a fully fledged part of the investigation.
Why would that be the case, Mia? You're still a teenage girl in school.
Uncle must be in a good mood since he let me stay.
This discovery surprised me, to be honest. Get on with it. What did you find out? As you already know, Maximilian, our murderer doesn't use an ordinary weapon. It is a special ritual dagger with notches and a slanted blade that can only be used for some specific ritual. A ritual weapon is quite often made precisely for one kind of magical act, and if you know what weapon was used, you can find out what ritual was performed with it. I spent a long time trying to figure out the aim of this killer before I realized that it will become clear when I find the dagger. Really? You spent a long time? It seems pretty elementary to me that you want to know the murder weapon if it's something that specific. After studying the post-mortem reports and paying a visit to the morgue, I could more or less imagine the blade that's capable of causing such wounds. Then I had to go through an enormous number of books on necromancy, but in the end I found what I was looking for. Wow, that is one hell of a knife. I present to you the Silent Sorrow. So you've got like a curve here, you got like a little, I don't know what I call it, a little pointy back bit, and a point that comes up here. And it comes down and then it's serrated right at the base. Quite a stunning dagger, right?
Silent Sorrow? What a strange name for a murder weapon.
Is it? I feel like Silent Sorrow sounds exactly like a murder weapon. Oh, you can't even imagine the name necromancers make up for their toys. This isn't funny, Maximilian. The name reflects the essence of the ritual. What are you talking about, old warlock?
Old warlock? This, Max. Where are your manners?
Forgive me, Lord Silverlight. So, what about that dagger?
We all know that the necromancer temporarily puts the victim's soul into a quartz crystal. He has to do that because only quartz is capable of containing a soul that's leaving the body. Other crystals are incapable of that. Then, the mage usually transfers the soul to a more secure place. It can be a diamond, a ruby, or some other precious stone. At first, I thought our necromancer stores souls in a medallion or a ring or something of that sort that he always carries with him. Because he always left the soul-filled crystals at the crime scene instead of taking them with him. But since this unique dagger is involved, I can confidently say that this necromancer fed the souls to the Silent Sorrow.
Are weapons even able to do that?
This is no regular weapon. The Silent Sorrow has special properties that empower it to absorb the souls out of crystals. But if a necromancer chose to use the Silent Sorrow, then he must really be desperate. Desperate? Why? The necromancer who performs rituals with this dagger must be no less than hopeless. Even the strongest dark mage can't use the dagger without causing himself harm. Every time someone uses the Silent Sorrow, the dagger absorbs not only the victim's soul, but it tries to absorb the necromancer's soul as well. As a matter of fact, the mage has to fight for his own life during the ritual, as every ritual of this kind may be his last.
It reminds me of a certain black blade used by one Elric of Melnibone.
But even if the mage survives, he still loses some part of his soul to the Silent Sorrow. That sounds terrible. But who in their right mind would do that? If he needed souls, he could have just sealed them in stones.
Stones are just vessels for storing souls.
But the Silent Sorrow doesn't simply store them. She merges them together, thus creating a very powerful source of magic energy. Considering how many half-elf and necromancer souls the dagger consumed over time, I can't even imagine how strong its magical charge has become.
But why would someone need such an enormous amount of energy? What can it be used for?
It can be used for anything. There are no limitations. That's the problem.
So we know that what weapon the killer used for the rituals, but we can't find out what for? In other words, his identity and motives are still unclear?
Unfortunately so, Maximilian. I could have told you more if I had that girl's statement. What was her name? Lauren Greenhill? Yes, her. I believe she could tell us something important.
Excellent. I'll go see her at the hospital tomorrow. It would also be nice to talk to the young man that usually walked her home. Perhaps he noticed something strange before the accident.
That's a great opportunity to see Lauren and make sure that she's all right. Can I come with you?
You mustn't interfere with the investigation, Mia. The detective will do fine without you.
You don't understand. Lauren is my best friend. She needs me.
I think you're the last thing on her mind now. Besides, you have school to attend tomorrow. Lord Silverlight, don't be so cruel to your only niece. I don't think it will do any harm if she sees her friend. Miss Greenhill will probably feel more comfortable with Mia there, and that'll help her remember more about the accident.
What? The detective took my side? But I thought I'd have to persuade both of them. That's unexpected, but it's even better this way.
Maximilian, there's no need to spoil my niece.
Don't forget that this is no game.
Look straight at camera.
Because this is a game.
Exactly, Leonic. Confirmed. Visual novel is not a game. Come on, Come on, old man, relax. Everything will be fine. Trust me.
You're so stubborn, Maximilian Blackwood.
Come on, show some compassion, old warlock.
Fine, do whatever you want. Anyway, Leonic, how's your week been? How you doing? How you doing today? How's your weekend going? Now get out of my study, both of you. And I better not see you here again, especially if you won't have any new information about the killer. The detective and I were already heading toward the door to disappear from Uncle's study as soon as possible and avoid annoying him once again when he suddenly stopped us.
Max, wait.
The detective stopped looking at Lord Silverlight in surprise.
Wait, what?
The detective stopped looking at Lord Silverlight in surprise? Nothing out of the ordinary, but you don't do much in general? Fair enough, I can certainly relate to that. It's too dangerous for Mia to be unguarded now. She can be attacked at any moment. I think you should send someone to protect her.
Don't worry about that. I'll send a couple policemen to guard her today.
So, now I'll have policemen following me around everywhere? What about Robin? He won't be able to come see me at night anymore.
I mean, we could just tell the policemen to let Robin through.
And if they'll follow me to the academy, too, it'll look ridiculous. Louise and Rosemarie will definitely get their fill of laughs when they see me being escorted by policemen.
Can't we tell the policemen to, like, rough them up a bit or something like that?
But then again, the murderer is still on the loose and could try to attack me. He stalked me outside my window once before. What's stopping him from doing it again?
Yeah, except the security.
Security? Perhaps that's not such a bad idea.
Excellent. I'll ask the ministry to allocate a couple of police officers for your security.
Thank you for your concern.
Oh, truly, there's no need to thank me for doing my job. I hope that someday I will earn your gratitude by doing something actually important.
Whoa, why does he care about our gratitude so much?
Please spare me from having to listen to... Please spare me from having to listen to you two sweet-talking to each other in my study. Go already. Make no mistake, Asgold Silverlight is an incredibly welcoming host.
The detective and I left Uncle's study under the disapproving watch of the latter.
Why didn't I think of offering you security myself? Especially considering that just this morning, I personally ordered for security to be assigned to Lauren Greenhill.
Don't worry, it's not that important.
It's just that I would really hate if something happened to you.
Oh? The detective stared into my eyes as if he was waiting for a response. Well, that's your job.
It's not only about the job, Miss Silverlight.
Did the detective imply something, or was it just me? I must have misinterpreted the meaning of his words. I feigned a smile, acting as if I didn't notice his stare.
This is rather sudden, and, kind of out of nowhere. We've barely met the guy. So, you want to go to the hospital with me tomorrow?
Oh, yes. I would really like to see Lauren.
We have a deal, then.
I won't be causing you too much trouble, will I?
Of course not. On the contrary, I'll be happy to have such a pleasant companion.
I felt myself blushing.
All right, I'll stop embarrassing you. It's time for me to be on my way. Work, you know. Unfortunately, being a detective isn't as fun as it may seem.
Why are we waiting so long to get the information from Lauren, though? Like, there's no need to wait a day. The murderer attacked her. We need to get that information out of her head as soon as possible. What other work could possibly take priority over interviewing a victim?
Matter of fact, searching for evidence, talking to specialists, questioning witnesses, and so on is only about 20%. The other 80% consists of endless paperwork and sitting in an office. And that's exactly what I have remaining for today. See you.
Paperwork. Just paperwork is what is going to make us delay interviewing the victim. Okay. Goodbye, Detective. When Detective Blackwood disappeared out of sight, it occurred to me that he's nothing like the guys I've dealt with. Could it have something to do with him being much older than me? I suppose. Also, he's a detective. I feel like that's probably a factor. He's undoubtedly smart, confident, and highly energetic. I must say that I'm quite impressed by those qualities. I'm quite taken with him myself, Mia. out of all the potential hunks we've come across so far, he does stand head and shoulders above the rest. I tried to guess his age. 28? 30? I have to admit that his presence made me feel very awkward. 28, more than 10 years older than us. That's quite an age gap, though. I mean, it doesn't affect us being the younger of the two parties, but the fact that he was flirting with us is concerning. A 30-year-old should not be flirting with a 17-year-old. It's probably because of the age difference. I've never had the experience of openly communicating with such a grown man. And why do I feel so young and foolish when he's around? But he is very attractive, no doubt about that. That thought instantly made me blush. I must really be foolish if I spend time thinking about such nonsense. Since I'm free for the rest of the day, I'll spend it in my room, reading books. In my room, I spent a long time trying to pick something to read. All the love novels and detective stories I used to read now seem silly and boring for some reason. My mind kept returning to the investigation. That's what excited me and made my heart beat faster. Is this really happening to me? Now I'm like the heroine of some breathtaking novel. The fact that I'll have my own personal security now seemed to contribute to my importance. It's funny, but I felt like a damsel in distress who has to be rescued by some brave hero. Before I could laugh at my undying, naive romanticism, came a knock at the door. Before I could laugh at my undying, naive romanticism, there came a knock on the door. Come in.
Good day, my lady.
Hello, Bernard. Did something happen?
Nothing special, my lady. A messenger boy brought you a letter a few minutes ago.
A letter?
Sorry, wrong voice.
Bernard handed me an envelope out of a pretty rocketed paper. I noticed familiar handwriting on the front of it.
Ah yes, this very familiar handwriting.
Thank you, Bernard. You may be free. As soon as the door closed, I started examining the envelope. Is this a letter from Alistair? It can't be. Then again, why am I so surprised? I already know that it's much easier for him to write his feelings on paper rather than say them out loud. My hand automatically reached into the pocket of my dress. I felt for the note Alistair wrote me yesterday. Hi, Barge Farmer. Nice to meet you.
Welcome in, welcome in. Nice to see you here. I'm LJ Bray, my pronouns are they, them, and we are playing Never Give Up. A Tome game.
My hand automatically reached into the pocket of my dress, and I felt for the note Alistair wrote me yesterday.
We're trying to solve a murder. What do I play on? This is on PC.
That was during our meeting in the park, right when Lauren was walking home alone. He then wrote that he likes me. Oh God, it feels like that was a long time ago. So much has happened since then. Perhaps he regrets it. I picked up the paper knife and carefully opened the letter.
Be careful, Half-Blood. I'm worried about you. Write me if you feel like meeting. P.S. Don't tell anyone about this letter.
I mean, it's kind of cute that he's got like this softer side to him and that he's only showing it to us. But the problem is his other side, his outer shell, is being a massive dick, including being a massive dick to us. So it doesn't really matter how nice he is to us on the inside. If he's going to be a dick, I don't really care about him. So he really does like me? So much that he even worries about me? Though this wasn't the first time Alistair showed his feelings, but this was the time that really moved me. But he's so arrogant and moody, and in any case. But receiving a letter like this really does feel nice. And he wouldn't mind meeting me again, but he's letting me decide when and where that's going to happen. Alistair has managed to surprise me once again. Well then, if Alistair is offering the opportunity to write him if I feel the need, then I will use it one day. If I want to. But yeah, Barge Farmer, how's it going? How's your week been? How's your weekend going? This letter made me lose the last shreds of my desire to read books. Instead, for the first time ever, I felt like leaving the cozy semi-gloom of my bedroom and stepping out into the fresh air to breathe in the glaring sun and take in the fresh air. Why do we say fresh air twice in the same sentence? And that's what I did. Oh yeah, definitely a good idea. Go outside to where we saw the murderer creeping around before. Also, this is the same stairs. They've just added a flower bush over the top of it. And also, this bush here has now had roses added to it. Oh, thank you, Antares Luna, for the follow. Thank you. You weren't following, apparently. Well, the important thing is that you are followed now. And thank you so much for that. And it's good to see you here. How's your week been? You could have sworn you did that one time you didn't? Well, I don't mind that you didn't. How's your weekend going? We're playing Never Give Up, an Otome game. It was calm and quiet in the garden. I walked down the winding trails of the garden and thought about everything and anything. Lauren, Alistair's letter, why the killer uses the silent sorrow. You cleaned and now you're eating? Sounds like a very productive day. The air smelled of leaves and chrysanthemums. Finally, I was completely at peace. Suddenly, I felt someone looking at me. I quickly turned around. You're giving me the creeps, Wilhelm. I already have you as number one on my suspect list. The fact that the one time you weren't there to protect your cousin is when she got attacked makes me very suspicious of you, Wilhelm. You got crazy eyes, boy. Good day, Mia. Wilhelm Greenhill? What's he doing here? Hello, Wilhelm. What brings you here? Oh. Instead of answering, Wilhelm airily, in a single movement, hopped over the low fence and ended up next to me. Stay back, boy. Don't go jumping over our fence into our garden. You were fine there, back in the bushes. If the mansion's fence is so easily to overcome, then there's no wonder that there are strangers roaming here at night. I believe you've heard about what happened to baby Lauren. Yes, of course. It's horrible that she had to go through that. I think she's in severe shock. I plan to pay Lauren a visit at the hospital tomorrow. What about you? What are you doing here? You know, I feel that it's all my fault. If I hadn't stayed late that day, none of this would have happened. Don't say that, Wilhelm. It's not your fault. You didn't do that on purpose. As far as I remember, you had an important practicum. I'm sorry, you're doing what? A practicum? As far as I remember, you had an important practicum at the academy. Oh, Mia, you are very kind, but I still feel my guilt. I mean, Lauren almost died. Actually, I'm just as guilty if you want to know. I could have walked Lauren home myself. Oh boy, instead of walking home with my friend, I ran to meet with a guy who always teases me and whose sisters despise me. What was I thinking? Especially since Alistair didn't say anything that important. Except for that note, of course. But Lauren could have died. No, Wilhelm has nothing to do with this. It's more likely my fault.
Mia, it wouldn't have helped if you went with Lauren that day. Rather, it would have been a pleasant surprise for the killer. But with me, it'd have been completely different. I am, after all, a mage. I could protect her. But she's safe now. I've heard that there's a whole police squad on duty outside the hospital, and not even a mouse will be able to sneak into Lauren's ward. So I'm not afraid for Sis. I'm more interested in you.
Me? What do I have to do with anything? I'm fine, as you may have noticed. I really don't understand what Wilhelm is doing here, and what he wants with me. After all, we barely know each other.
I mean your safety. Not that I want to remind you, but you have all the chances to become the next victim, since Lauren is out of range now.
Well, that's why we're getting some policemen to guard us day and night. I mean, they're not here right now, Wilhelm, but Detective Hardy is going to be sending a couple of policemen to guard us. Don't worry about that. I spoke to the detective on this case today. He promised to send 2 police officers for my protection.
Just 2?
Isn't that too little? Well, ultimately, I don't even need that protection. Since, unlike Lauren, no one attacked me. Hey, Astrid, good to see you. Out to you two. And you gonna lurk? Thanks for the lurk. I appreciate it. They didn't need to attack us. We know that they've been stalking us, watching us through our window, and were prepared to strike that night before we startled them. I don't think that we... I don't see why we would need less protection than, Lauren. Although, I suppose the killer might be worried that Lauren could reveal too much information or might recognize the killer's face. So therefore, I suppose it would make sense that Lauren would be in more danger.
Maybe you are right.
And when is the detective supposed to send these bodyguards? This seemed to perk him up. Detective Blackwood said they'll be here by today's evening. Or as we call it, just evening. You don't typically have to specify today's evening.
You mean that this night you'll be with security already? Oh, that's great news. I'm really happy that you're under reliable protection.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, Wilhelm. I'm sure you're real happy.
All right then, I must be off. I wish I could chat some more, but I've really got to run. Goodbye, and remember, life is wonderful. There's nothing worse than losing it.
What a bloody ominous thing to say.
Take care.
With those words, Wilhelm jumped over the fence and trotted down the street. He's kind of strange today. First, it seemed like he came to complain about failing to protect Lauren, but then asked if I have security and ran off as soon as he got the answer. Almost as if he was like scoping out whether we would be an easy target. Maybe that wasn't what he wanted. Then again, this could have been one of those courtesy visits that don't mean a thing. Oh well, I can't blame him. After all, I'm no one to him. He doesn't seem to be sincerely worried about Lauren either. I mean, he does feel guilty, but nothing more. I suppose if he'd known about Lauren's feelings, he would have behaved differently. All right, no point in thinking about that now, since he's already gone away. Time for me to go home as well. Huh? What do you mean, time to go home? Aren't we home? I thought we were in our garden. We didn't leave home. I wanted to return to my bedroom, But then I heard voices coming from somewhere inside Uncle's study. There were clearly several people there. In the past, this would have surprised me, since I thought that my uncle was an unsociable, gloomy mage who doesn't like company. But now that I've gotten to know him, nothing could surprise me anymore. To be honest, I was even glad I discovered a different side of Lord Silverlight. He turned out to be a very smart and interesting elf, despite his bad temper. Who knows? Maybe one day he'll truly become my family, since I don't have anyone else. I was just about to pass on to my room when several people came out of Uncle's study.
Oh! What dapper-looking policeman! And good lord, what is going on with this mustache? That is one heck of a mustache there. Mia, there you are. I was just about to send Bernard to look for you.
Sorry.
Never mind. Please meet Officers Gray and Swenson. They were sent by Detective Blackwood for your protection. Good evening, Miss Silverlight.
Hello.
Officer Gray will be on duty outside your bedroom door at night, while Officer Swenson will be patrolling the house.
Great. I just didn't know how to react. I was highly uncomfortable in the presence of the police. I was trying not to look at them. Though, I must say, the shiny buttons on their uniforms were quite hypnotizing to me. I had a hard time taking my eyes off of them to respond to Uncle.
Lauren, could you please at least act like you have some level of intelligence, rather than being distracted by any shiny thing that walks into your field of view? I don't think the word great is appropriate in this case. But that doesn't matter either. Just try to stay in your room, and if you see or sense something suspicious, scream right away. Is that clear?
I looked away from the buttons and gave him a quick nod. If I see something suspicious, then I'll scream for help straight away.
Yes, that's right. Now go to your room.
Yes, I was just on my way there.
Go already!
When I entered my room, I could still hear Uncle giving instructions to the policemen for some time. He certainly didn't wait to show them who's in charge.
Is this what it's like being a rich person? You just get to have personal police officers come around and tell them what to do?
As there was nothing to do anyway, I decided to go to bed. It was completely dark out when I woke up from hearing some strange noises.
Are these the strange noises, or is this just some ominous music? Because either way, it's very ominous. I take it these are the strange noises. This is, Oh, they finally stopped.
It seemed to be coming from outside. I didn't make anything out of it at first because I remembered that there's a policeman on duty outside the door. But I almost immediately realized that something was wrong. Though Uncle did insist on me screaming every time I hear a suspicious noise, I still felt reluctant to make a fool of myself in front of the policeman.
I don't think he said every time there's a suspicious noise. I think if anything suspicious is happening, just a noise alone, I wouldn't classify as, like, worthy of screaming.
I suppose nothing will go wrong if I take a peek at what's going on there. I hurriedly dressed and went out into the hallway. It's so quiet. And who's making all that noise? And where's the police? Now I really felt ill at ease. Mr. Officer, are you here? Hello? Is anyone here? Suddenly, I started hearing someone's heavy footsteps. Mr. Officer? Uncle? There was no response, but the steps kept getting louder and closer. My heart sank, and I fled back to my room. Even locking the door didn't help to calm my nerves. Oh God, the steps stopped right next to my door. What's that sound? As if someone is whispering a spell. Shivers ran down my spine. My room started filling with smoke. It had some strange, nauseatingly sweet smell to it. I felt dizzy. I barely managed to walk to my bed and collapsed. My arms and legs refused to obey me. Now I didn't care whether I would seem stupid or not. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. Finally, the heinous fog started to become deeper and thicker, and a silhouette appeared in the center of it. That's the stranger. I tried to scream once more, but my mouth opened without making a sound.
Don't even bother trying.
I looked at the door, hoping that the police is just about to burst in and rescue me. The stranger noticed where I was looking and let out a laugh.
Do you really think those two losers could stop me? Don't worry, they're alive. I don't need their pathetic souls.
The mage turned his back, making it seem like he forgot about my existence. He took something out of the folds of his attire and started chanting again. Every word he spoke caused more and more changes in his appearance, while the air in the room was becoming heavier and heavier. What's happening to him? The dagger in the necromancer's hand. It's the silent sorrow. So, is that what's doing this to him? Uncle said that the mage who uses the silent sorrow risks dying during the ritual. Paying no regard to anything around him, the mage started scattering the strange, smelly, stuffy powder. Likewise, he didn't stop chanting, even for a moment. Little by little, in the center of the room, right above me, appeared a blood-red pentagram. My blood ran cold.
So we got Bellaton, Ardia, Soluzen, Melanie, Elai, and Eliza. And Grammaton Petra. Tetragrammaton? Tetragrammaton.
I'm not certain, but this seems like some alchemist bullshit. If Small Honeybat was here, she could definitely confirm what kind of strange alchemy this is. Uncle, detective, somebody, help me. I've never been so scared in my life. It seemed like I'm about to die from cardiac arrest. I saw how hard this ritual was on the mage. The veins on his body were swelling, and his movements became convulsive. He was breathing heavily, clenching his dagger tight in his hand. Suddenly, I felt his control over me weaken, and I used that moment. Help! My voice sounded weak and hollow. I doubt that anyone could have heard it outside the room. The mage grew suspicious. I want to live. Please!
Wait, he grew suspicious? Suspicious of what? Of us struggling? Seems like a normal thing for us to do.
He came up to the bed, bent down to my face and said,
I don't care about what you want.
I was straining to see the warlock's face through the tears, and in this darkness, his facial features suddenly appeared familiar to me, despite them being hardly distinguishable in the darkness. The warlock slid his finger across my cheek, as if wiping off the tear.
I know you're scared. You want to live. I want to live too.
I looked at him in surprise. What does that have to do with anything?
Your death will let me live. Understand?
Suddenly, the warlock let out an angry scream.
Of course you don't. Your kind doesn't know how to value what they have. Always complaining about life and how unfair fate is. You half-bloods are always busy looking for the bad around you to reassure yourself about how bad you have it. Pathetic, meaningless creatures. No one will even notice if you die.
No one will notice? That's not true. I thought of Robin. He loves me so much. My death will be a tragedy for him. Alistair, he appears to like me. My uncle, he's so worried about me. My life might not be perfect, but it's mine. No one has the right to take it away. The necromancer pulled a small crystal out of his bag that was amazingly similar to the one I found in the garden. Red glimmers of the pentagram ominously sparkled on its faces. So this is where my soul will be now? I seem to be out of chances to find salvation. The ritual will be completed.
Unhand her immediately, you... Unhand her immediately, you jack. You goddamn bonehead. You're being a real jerk about this.
What a milquetoast word to choose.
Unhand her immediately, you jerk.
Uncle?
You thought you could perform the ritual right under my nose? You're more foolish than I thought. Mia, are you alright?
Uncle came to rescue me. I felt so relieved that I was literally choking on my tears.
Huh? You were literally choking on your tears. So, like, the tears were rolling down your face, into your mouth, and then you were choking on them? That's impressive.
Uncle! The sobs were making it hard to speak, but I didn't have to.
Be quiet. Everything is fine. You're safe now. Now you are going to pay for this, warlock. You're too self-assured, old man. We'll see. Which one of us is too self-assured? We'll see who cancels who.
Whoa. What exciting battle. Making the sound of a faulty light switch.
Ah, you're making the first strike. But what do you have to say to this?
Whoa. Non-stop action.
Damn, you're too fast for such an old man. The silent sorrow is making you weaker. Drop it and fight with full force.
It's still going on with the sound effect.
You know about the silent sorrow? Forget it. It'll give me what I need. One more soul and everything will be over. That will be your own soul, you idiot! The silent sorrow can kill you! I'm almost dead anyway. I don't care if I'm killed by this dagger or I die on my own. But the silent sorrow gives me hope that I'll live. And I'll do anything for that hope. I have too little time to waste it here.
Where'd he go?
That coward, he escaped. But that doesn't matter now.
What's important is that you're alive.
About time, you two. Forgive us, Lord Silverlight. This warlock, we tried to apprehend him, but we couldn't. No need to explain, officers. Judging by the looks of it, you fought bravely. Though, not long. Now, summon Detective Blackwood here. I need him here right away, and by any means. Even if you have to drag Maximilian out of bed.
Well, obviously, I think they understand the severity of the situation. I don't think they were going to let Maximilian just sleep 5 more minutes.
Will do. Yep.
The vital choice. End of story. That's what happened at the mansion this night. And what a story it's been so far. Thank God that I made it before the necromancer used the dagger.
But how did you know that the necromancer was in the building?
Did he use the powder to hide his presence? He did use the powder to hide his presence. That youngster greatly underestimated me. I knew that I wouldn't be able to sense his magic. That's why I used the trick. The warlock had to get rid of the policeman in order to gain easy access to Mia's room. That's why I put magic marks on both of the officers. Using that mark, I could track their locations. As soon as the marks disappeared, I understood that the necromancer was in the building and that he used the concealing powder.
Old man, you're as tricky as a monkey. But I can't approve of you using policemen as bait for the murderer.
They weren't bait, they were still supposed to stop him. It's just that this was like a backup plan.
By all means, I'll try to make sure that word of this doesn't reach the ministry. Otherwise, those pen pushers will eat you alive.
That's not necessary. I'm not scared of anyone, especially those cooperative slaves.
You sound just like my father. But as a matter of fact, I'm sorry I couldn't do anything to protect Miss Silverlight myself. If it weren't for you, she would have died. And the best I could have come up with was sending the police here.
Don't be ridiculous, Max. You did all that was necessary.
Easy for you to say since you handled it yourself, without my help.
But did you manage to find out anything about this necromancer? May I say something? What do you want to tell us? When the necromancer was in my room, I got the feeling that I've seen him somewhere. It was very dark, and I couldn't see his face clearly, but I'm sure that I know him. He also said something about life and my soul helping him. He's sick.
What?
I saw darkness inside him. He's dying. Oh, you meant he's sick as in... Okay. It wasn't just like a judgment call. It's likely that he wants to use the silent sorrow to make a new immortal body for himself. That's what he needs so much energy for. He wants to transfer his soul into the new body that he will make himself.
Are you trying to say that the gathered energy is enough for him to regenerate?
Not yet. He needs one more half-elf soul. But now we know what to look for. Aren't we supposed to be looking for a necromancer? That's not necessary. He's about to die soon anyway.
Damn, that's cruel. Then what are we supposed to do?
We need to find out the sanctuary where the warlock plans to regenerate. If we destroy the altar, then the new body... If we destroy the altar and the new body, then the necromancer won't have time to create a new one. His time is almost up.
And you know where there might be a suitable place?
Let's just say I have a few guesses.
Want to tell me more about them?
No.
Fine.
Wait, what? What do you mean you're not going to tell him? What? You have ideas where the murderer could be holed up and you're not going to tell Maximilian? Okay, I don't understand why, but... You do you, Uncle.
All right. I have to make it to the St. Helena Hospital in time to take Miss Greenhill's statement. Miss Silverlight, you've been through so much this night. After all, you almost died. I know that I promised to take you with me, but you need to take some rest and recover your senses. I'll go to the hospital and take her statement by myself, if you don't mind.
I'm fine. I wasn't under enough stress to stop me meeting with my friend.
Well then, if you feel the strength for it, then why not? Get ready. We are going to the hospital right away.
Didn't we say we recognized who the murderer was, though? We haven't mentioned that.
Miss Silverlight, you amaze me.
Do I? How?
With your bravery. I've not seen such bravery. I don't know a single lady who'd be as calm as you are after what happened.
To be honest, I'm very anxious. When I think back to last night, I feel like my heart is about to stop.
Despite that, you are holding up great, and you haven't lost your ability to be reasonable. That's exactly what I like about you.
You made me feel embarrassed again. I can even feel my cheeks burning with color. Thank you for the compliment, but I'm not nearly as brave as I may seem. I'm mostly just unaware of the lethal danger I'm surrounded by at all times.
You just haven't completely unlocked your potential. After all, you are a Silverlight, and that means you have the same blood as this insufferable old man. Which means a lot, since he's the bravest person I know. After my father, of course. We've arrived. Coachman, stop here.
Do we really need to tell the coachman to stop? I thought the coachman knew where we were going. Was the coachman just, like, going in random directions, and we just tell him to stop when he finally passed the hospital?
I made arrangements for today's meeting, so they're already waiting for us.
Oh, hello, nurse. Detective Blackwood? Good morning. I'll go get Miss Greenhill. But I have to warn you, she mustn't worry now, so try avoiding giving Milady an anxiety attack.
Don't worry, Miss Rose. We'll only ask her a few questions, but we won't insist if Miss Greenhill refuses to talk.
All right, you have about 15 minutes. Although, the lady didn't get much physical damage, she did experience severe shock.
We understand, Miss Rose. Can we see Lady Greenhill?
I'll go get her. Wait a couple minutes.
I believe it will be better if Miss Lauren doesn't find out about what happened to you this night. Extra worries won't do her any good, nor will it help the investigation.
Yes, I understand. I didn't want to tell her about that anyway. The memories still make my blood turn to ice.
We have a deal then.
Lauren! Oh God! They said that Lauren's wounds aren't dangerous. Then what are all those bandages for? Oh, God. What did that scoundrel do to her? Mia, I'm so glad you came. I was so worried about you. Lauren, I've missed you so much. You shouldn't have worried about me. As you can see, I'm fine. I screwed my face into a smile, hoping that Lauren will take my fake confident smile for a sincere one. Confident? But she knows me too well to buy it. Lauren just shook her head in response. How are you feeling? Well, as you can see, I'm fine too. You don't really look it. The doctor said that these are just scratches and shallow wounds. I'll recover. All right, I'll leave you for a while so you can talk. Yeah, thanks. You can, stop giving me that look. Don't know what it is, but I don't like it. I'll return a bit later to pick up Lady Greenhill.
All right.
Good day, Detective Blackwood. Did you want something?
Good day, Miss Greenhill. I'm hoping that your health will allow you to answer a few questions.
Yes, easily. I'm feeling better.
Then I would like to clarify some details of the recent incident.
Of course, ask away.
I know that you were returning home that day down the road that is the longest way to your family mansion. As far as I know, you usually took that path with your cousin, but that day you were alone. Why did you decide to take this exact road?
I usually take the short path across the bridge, and I would have done it that time too, but I thought I saw someone on that path.
Whom did you see?
I thought I saw Wilhelm there. Now I realize it couldn't have been him, because he had a practicum at the academy.
Still not sure what exactly this practicum is, but it sounds disgusting.
But then, without a second thought, I took a turn to the long path.
What happened next?
So wait, you saw Wilhelm, the cousin you love, on the bridge, so you decided not to take the bridge?
I don't understand.
That path leads through the park, and there are many trees there. When I was walking past a thicket, I heard someone call my name. I stopped, and then... I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I understand. So you're saying you saw your cousin there?
I said that I thought it was him.
All right. Do you know where we can find Wilhelm Greenhill for questioning?
You definitely won't catch him home. He's a very lively, communicative elf. He spends all his free time outside home. I think you could ask about him at the Academy of Science and Magic where he studies.
Do you happen to know where exactly Mr. Greenhill is when he's not home?
No one will tell you that. He's like a rolling stone. Now here, now there.
When was the last time you saw him?
Just yesterday. He was in the hospital yard. I saw him out the window of my ward.
Huh? Is this a word that didn't get translated?
He didn't come see me. Maybe the guards didn't let him through. So that's why Lauren looked so sad. She was hoping that Wilhelm would visit her. Maybe the guards really didn't let him through. That's right. He did tell me yesterday that Lauren is impossible to reach now, since she's being guarded by a whole police squad. I don't think I should say that I saw Wilhelm yesterday in front of Lauren. Detective, stop torturing the young lady. Your time is up. Lady, we are trying to solve a murder case here. I don't I don't think your arbitrary time limits are more important than the information we are getting.
Miss Rose, you're too cruel to me. Do you really think I'm capable of torturing anyone?
Then why does Miss Greenhill look so upset? Don't worry about me, Miss Rose. I'm so glad you're all right, Mia. I was really afraid that the killer would come for you, since he failed with me. God, Lauren, she manages to worry about me, even in a situation like this. I could no longer restrain myself and hugged her despite such public displays of affection being unlike me. Take care of yourself. Detective Blackwood put his hand on my shoulder.
Mia, it's time for us to go. Visiting time is over.
I think visiting hours don't apply to us. We're the detective trying to solve a murder investigation. A serial killer who's killed more than 20 people, I might add. And who we know is going to strike again. Yes, I understand. Goodbye, Lauren. I'll come see you again soon. I'll be waiting. It's so lonely here.
Mia, let's go. Goodbye, Miss Greenhill.
We returned to Detective Blackwood's coach. I didn't know where we were going now, and I didn't even want to ask. I felt depressed after seeing Lauren in hospital scenery with bandages on her. Lauren looked miserable. What happened to the cheerfulness she used to have? She was clearly hiding something when she said she was all right.
Your friend is understating something, isn't she?
I flinched. It was almost as if the detective had read my mind. I don't know.
I saw that you didn't exactly believe Miss Greenhill.
I thought you didn't have magic powers.
It's not about magic. You just have a very expressive face, and it always gives you away.
So that's it? And I thought it's because I'm a bad actress. Well, yeah, that's the same thing, isn't it?
It can be both, yeah.
I unwittingly laughed. Could you tell me where we're going now?
Well, I'm going to the Academy of Science and Magic to find Wilhelm Greenhill, and you're going home.
Home? But why?
I won't deny that I beg your pardon? I won't deny that I'm pleasured by having such a nice company as you around. Having you around pleasures me. I won't deny that I'm pleased by having such nice company around. But you are an important witness, and a potential victim as well. It's too dangerous for you to be roaming around town like this. After yesterday's incident, I don't even know where you can be safe now.
Well, with our uncle, he's what saved us last time. I think he'd be the safest person in the entire town to be with. Whereas you, Detective Blackwood, unfortunately have no magical powers. So I can't imagine you would be actually particularly safe at all, really. But, Uncle...
Lord Silverlight isn't almighty. A necromancer is a serious adversary, even for him. Besides that, Lord Silverlight will be busy looking for the place where the warlock could make an altar. He'll probably have to be out a lot. But you need protection. Do you have any reliable people in view? Friends? Relatives?
My only relative is Uncle. Friends? Maybe Robin? He's prepared even to give his life for me. There's no one more reliable than him. Other than that, he knows the lower district like the back of his palm. He has a lot of labyrinths. It's a very easy place to hide. Or maybe Alistair? He wrote me that I could reach out to him if I needed to. Seems to be much better than I thought at first. Who else? Laura is in the hospital, and she needs protection herself. How about... No, that's stupid. Then again, how about the detective? He's brave, resourceful. He's a representative of the law, after all.
He's a non-magical police officer. Very similar to the two police officers that were knocked out when they were supposed to be protecting us. I don't see how he would be in any way safer than staying at home. You don't have to answer right now. First, I'll take you home. Then I'll handle some stuff, and after that, I'll return to the Silverlight Mansion, and we'll talk. Deal?
Phew. At least I have time to think. I don't have that many friends, but I think I can remember a couple truly reliable ones.
We have a deal, then. Especially since we only need to choose one.
But what about the academy?
What's wrong with it?
Well, I just thought that isn't it dangerous for me to appear there while the killer is on the loose?
That's a reasonable question. Indeed, it isn't the safest place for you now. Don't worry about it. I'll talk to the head teacher, Broken Castle. I think he'll show understanding and won't mind you staying home for some time.
Thank you.
No need for gratitude. It's only...
Your job?
Exactly.
But there's one more thing. About the academy. Could you talk to one of the teachers as well? It's just that I'm afraid I might get in trouble because of the missed classes.
Who do you mean?
You saw him when you were at the lesson. It's Professor Goldstone.
Is Victor keeping you in fear of him? That's so like him.
Well, we're on fairly good terms now. Wait a second. Where do you know him from?
He's an old classmate of mine. We studied at the same school, but then went our separate ways. I went into criminal science while Goldstone took up seafaring. Seafaring?
Seafaring? But he teaches ethics and etiquette. I never dropped a word about sea and ships.
It's no surprise that he doesn't talk about it. The truth is, he turned out to be absolutely talentless in that area. I'm afraid if we went out to sea, he would almost immediately put the ship aground, catch malaria, and infect half the crew with it.
Then why did he study seafaring?
Victor was always quite an enthusiastic elf. He was drawn by maritime romance. All those stories about faraway countries, new continents and stuff. The sea was his dream. However, he didn't want to be an ordinary sailor. He wanted to have his own ship and command his own crew. His family money made that quite possible. The problem is that you have to study if you want to be a captain. That's where it didn't work out.
But how did he become a teacher? He didn't go through teacher training, am I right?
Yes, that's true. After his embarrassment at the Seafaring Academy, when Victor failed at everything, he didn't go anywhere else to study. But his grandfather, Count Broken Castle, managed to get him a job as an etiquette teacher, since that was something that Victor was always strong in.
Broken Castle? But that's our head teacher's last name. So Goldstone is his grandson?
I thought everyone knew that. I think I said too much.
So that's why Goldstone got angry when I called him incompetent. He doesn't even have the necessary education.
Wow, what a shitty academy we're going to. Full of nepotism. Did you really say that to him? Oh, you shouldn't have. I'm sure he's excellent at teaching etiquette and ethics. But that's exactly what they said when they kicked him out of the Seafaring Academy. That he's completely incompetent.
Oh, I didn't know. I must have really hurt his feelings.
Don't worry about him. Besides, I'm telling you this in confidence. There's a ship being built at the Central shipyard called Dream Revival. And you know what?
What?
Victor paid for its construction. I think he held on to his dream. So don't be surprised if Victor Goldstone, the teacher, simply disappears one day. I'm sure that in that exact moment, a new sea adventurer will be born. Maybe even a pirate.
Is that true? Unbelievable. I would have never thought that Goldstone is capable of something like that. He seems so reserved, stuffy, and arrogant.
Trust me, that's the way he really is. But you can have it both ways, right?
I burst out laughing at the image of Professor Goldstone in an eye patch waving a sword and boarding an enemy ship. Oh, that would have been a fantastic sign.
Sorry for bumping the table. Well then, you're home.
So soon?
Time always flies during conversations. Well then, I'll see you tonight.
Goodbye. It's so nice that I won't have to go to the academy for at least a couple days. I'll be able to avoid the Dark Rose sisters, and that's just great. After all, the only thing that helped me withstand their bashing was Lauren's presence.
Poor Alistair, though. He must be beside himself. Good day, milady.
Good day, Bernard. Is something wrong?
You have a guest, milady. He's waiting for you in the parlor.
A guest? But I wasn't expecting anyone. Who could have come to see me? Except maybe Robin. But Bernard wouldn't have let him in, even on the doorstep. Thank you, Bernard. I'll go to the parlor this instant. Where is this guest? Hope it's not someone from the police again. I've already told Detective Blackwood everything I know anyway.
Hey, there he is. You're always running around somewhere. I've been waiting for you for over an hour here.
Alistair?
Don't scream like that, or the servants will think I came to kill you.
Sorry. What are you doing here?
I'm actually your classmate. You missed classes, so I decided to bring you the homework.
Don't clown around. I was only gone for 2 days. Since when do you care so much about my education?
I've heard that the murderer came for you tonight. So I wanted to make sure you're okay. Or is that forbidden?
Alistair Darkrose in my home. This is just like some freaky dream. Well, if you weren't arrested by my security, then it's allowed. How did you get in, by the way?
I knocked on the door and I was let in. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Alistair, I'm serious. The house is guarded by the police. I thought visitors weren't allowed.
Unless they're members of the Darkrose family.
All right. Let's suppose that's true. Then how did you find out about what happened this night?
My father works at the ministry, remember? He's supervising that detective. What was his name? Black Moon? Blackstone?
Blackwood. Don't get distracted.
Blackwood, of course. So, the policeman whom Blackwood sent to guard you informed my father about what happened here. Apparently, the detective was too lazy to tell him about it in person.
He just didn't have time for that. He's very busy with the investigation.
Oh, really? What else is he busy doing with you?
Alistair, are you trying to imply something?
Not at all. Why? Is there something to imply?
See, Alistair, this is why I don't like you. You're an asshole. You know, I was slightly warming up to the idea of like the bad boy with the softer side.
But fuck you, man.
No, nothing of that sort happened.
Nothing of what sort?
Oh God, are you trying to drive me crazy? What's with the interrogation?
Am I? How could you think that?
I'm only trying to keep the conversation. You're unbearable.
Thanks, I try.
Alistair, you didn't wait for me all this time for a squabble, did you? Be honest. What do you want?
Did you get my letter?
Does he mean the one Bernard gave me last night? Well, let's suppose I did. Now what?
Mia, why can't you believe that I'm truly worried for your life?
I can believe that. I just can't believe that you're such an asshole about it.
Alistair called me by name, not half-blood or peasant as usual. There must be a magnetic storm, no less.
A magnetic storm? Is that like a Russian phrase that doesn't translate well? Or is this supposed to be some kind of like fantasy world phrase?
Why aren't you saying anything? Coming here cost me a lot of effort. And you were out God knows where. I could barely wait for you.
Don't get angry at me, asshole. Alistair. Don't scream like that, or the servants will think that you came to kill me.
Damn.
I just can't believe. It's just that you were always so... You understand.
Mean? Well, as well as arrogant and obnoxious?
Exactly. Now it's hard for me to imagine that everything has changed. I'm sorry.
To be honest, I never cared about you being a half-blood, unlike my sisters. I liked you right away, ever since that moment you first walked into class.
So you liked us, but you were still an asshole to us regardless. A racist asshole, nonetheless. Because why? What? You threw a paper plane at me that time. A paper plane, even.
And I really wanted it to reach you.
You spilled ink on my textbook. Stole my etiquette notebook. Threw a giant beetle on my desk. I can remember hundreds of times like that.
Well, how was I supposed to know you don't like bugs?
You are just a piece of work, Alistair.
I just wanted you to react somehow. You're always so distant and didn't pay any attention to anyone. But everything I've done was showing my interest in you.
You are a sick, twisted individual, Alistair. Stop it. Get some help. Also, what the hell is going on here with this lantern? It is... very strange looking. Non-Euclidean, almost. And the size of these chairs is very bizarre compared to the size of the table. This drawer is somehow overlapping, like, this, I don't know what to call it. It's got a rosette on it. It's, a pillar, I guess? Gee, thanks. This is making my head spin.
Just keep in mind, if you need anything, I'll always be nearby.
Sounds like a threat.
It is.
Hey, Sungets. How you been? How's your week been? How's your weekend going?
Now that I'm sure you're alive, well, and not panicking, I can go home. Will you see me out?
Are you afraid you'll get lost?
Maybe.
All right, let's go. Well, this is it. Now you'll definitely find the way. You been napping? Have I been all right? I have been fantastic, and I am having a fantastic day today. This game is hilarious. I love it so much. I've been having such a great time by myself today.
Driving me away again.
Mia? Oh God, what's Robin doing here? I see you have guests over today. Hi, Robin. This is Alistair, my classmate. He brought me homework. Alistair, this is Robin. He's...
Hey, Mr. Eyebrows. You must be the local gardener? You look like you're used to digging dirt.
Jesus fucking Christ, Alistair. You racist piece of shit. This is how you endear yourself to our friends? Why would we ever want to be with you? Alistair, don't do that. Oh, why did these two come to me now? I really wouldn't want them to meet. No, Alistair, Robin is my childhood friend. He comes to visit me sometimes.
How sweet. What did you say your name was? Reuben? What a stupid name.
My name is Robin. It's amazing that you couldn't hear my name with those huge ears of yours. Robin, don't do this. Don't make Alistair mad, please.
No, make Alistair mad. Apparently that's what turns him on. Maybe you two can get together, seeing as I don't want either of you.
Now how am I supposed to get out of this situation? I believe you were about to leave, classmate?
I changed my mind. It's fun here.
Alistair, didn't you want to get home as soon as possible?
Did I? I don't remember that.
Apparently the lady wants you out of here, Dumbo.
Wait, Dumbo? As in, like, Dumbo the flying elephant that flies with his big ears. Like, I understand that's the joke. But Dumbo exists in this fantasy world? It's not up to you to decide what the lady wants.
Calm down, please.
And in any case, you're being too cheeky for a peasant.
I see good manners aren't taught to aristocrats much either.
Is it just me, or is this childhood friend aspiring for more than just friendship?
Oh, crap. And what if I am? Do you have something to say to me, Dumbo?
Stupid creature. You won't get anywhere with her. Deal with it, loser.
We'll see who's the loser. Oh no, they made each other so mad that they're ready to fight.
Yeah, fight. Maybe make out a little. You two deserve each other.
I should stop them this instant before something terrible happened. Tell me, is your blood really blue? I wouldn't mind checking if you're not chicken. What? Robin is threatening Alistair? This is so unlike Robin. He's so kind, tender. But yeah, Alistair can make even a saint lose his temper.
If anything, I'll knock your chicken brain out.
Stop this immediately! How dare you act this way here? If you want to fight, then go someplace else, but leave me out of it. Robin, I just can't believe you fell for such an obvious provocation so easily. This is so unlike you. Alistair, of course, your behavior doesn't surprise me, but could you please explain why in the world did you start this?
I didn't do anything. It was your big brown friend who started it. I was just walking by.
Alistair, you have no shame at all. I saw you were the one who provoked him.
Maybe. I don't seem to recall.
This idiot even dares to mock. Robin, settle down, please. Alistair always behaves this way. Try to ignore it.
All right. It's fun here. But it really is my time to go home. Goodbye, Mia. Bye, loser. Go on. Run while you still can.
Go on, run while you still can.
Remember, you have no chances, peasant. Bye-bye.
Is that jerk really your classmate? Yes, he is, Robin. Calm down, I beg you. It's a good thing that Alistair finally left. I already thought that this was leading to no good. He's so mischievous. And Robin, where did that appetite for fighting come from? I'll lose my mind if this keeps up. So this is the kind of elves you're forced to study with. It's not surprising that you're not too happy at that academy of yours. Last time it wasn't about allergies or Jasmine either, was it? Was he the one who made you cry? Just say the word and I'll knock his teeth out. Robin, don't say that. You'll get arrested. Mia, believe me, I will do anything to protect you from his kind. Even if I'll have to use force for it. Don't say that. You're scaring me. I'll go to any length for you. I'll do anything you want. Those words are so flattering, but... God, Robin is so obsessed with his love for me. Could he really be ready to do anything? Robin, I would have never asked you for any sacrifices. Yes, I know. But you didn't come here for no reason, did you? Was there something you wanted? I only came here to bring some news. I thought you'd find them interesting. News? What news? It concerns the academy where you study. What do you mean? Did you know that the academy's head teacher used to be a pirate when he was young? Huh? The head teacher? As in the grandfather of our etiquette teacher, who himself wants to become a sailor, potentially a pirate? What? Head teacher Broken Castle? That can't be. How did you find out? Not long ago, I was helping out my cousin at the central shipyard. There's a giant ship being built there, with cannons and culverins. So I asked who that beauty is for. Cousin confessed right away that they're building it on the orders of the grandson of a notorious ex-pirate, Gold-Eyed Jack. What? Gold-Eyed Jack? They called him that because he was missing a left eye. So he was walking around with a fake one made of gold. Head teacher Broken Castle wears an eye patch on his left eye. But I thought he was a war veteran or something like that. After all, he's almost 90. It turned out that Cousin was always fascinated by legends of this pirate and collected any information available on him, and found out that he wasn't executed almost 50 years ago as it was announced to everyone. Gold-Eyed Jack managed to bribe the judges, and they hung some tramp instead of him. And the pirate used the stolen gold to buy himself a Palatine title, a new last name, and over time, he became known as the philanthropist who built the academy with his own money. The detective said that Goldstone is Broken Castle's grandson. It's so ironic that the grandson of such a famous sea bandit has absolutely no talent at seafaring. It is very strange and also almost completely, irrelevant to the story. Unless Broken Castle is the murderer. That would explain, being ill and, possibly, hang out. But then our uncle called the murderer a youngster. Then again, don't know. Is 90 old for an elf? So, what do we have then? The grandson of that very pirate wants to follow in his footsteps? Not that I do know, but as you understood, the ship is armed with weapons. A lot of weapons. What has all this pirate subplot got to do with anything? It doesn't seem much like it will be carrying cargo or passengers. I would have never thought that the head teacher used to be such a famous pirate. Thank you for sharing this with me. It was very surprising and amusing. Who could have guessed that our etiquette teacher is really planning to become a pirate? Then again, if he has pirate blood in his veins, then I shouldn't be surprised. But that means he's not really an aristocrat, and knows it well enough. All that attitude for nothing. I also saw the police by your house. Tell me, did something happen? Robin doesn't know about what happened at night, but that's for the best. You've probably heard that my uncle helps the police with investigations. He's a magic expert, so there's nothing special in the police being here. I see. So, everything's fine? Yes, you don't need to worry. It's good if you're right. Well then, time for me to go. I promised to babysit my neighbor's 5 kids, so she could go to the market in peace. Therefore, I must be off. Is that Madame Ella you're talking about? When did she get a 5th child? Oh, who knows? Yeah. All right then, hurry up. See you. Bye. That's Robin for you. Always tries to help everyone, forgetting about himself. I'll go back to my room. I think I can use some rest after all these events today. How did it happen that both Alistair and Robin decided to come see me at the same time? I almost had a heart attack when I saw Robin today. I have no idea how I could break those two up if they decided to have a fight. God, that was so awkward. Now who is it? Looks like I won't have any alone time today. Bernard, is that you?
Miss Silverlight, this is Detective Blackwood. May I come in?
The detective really does sometimes ignore appearance, coming to a girl's bedroom like this. Then again, what am I thinking? After all, he did come on business. Yes, come in.
I hope you don't mind the sudden intrusion.
It's fine, Detective. What did you want to talk about?
It's about Wilhelm Greenhill. I haven't managed to find him anywhere. He hasn't been to the academy in a month, so nobody knows where he may be.
Hasn't been to the academy in a month? Wasn't he having some kind of practicum
At the academy just the other day?
Lies upon lies upon lies.
What exactly is Wilhelm hiding? Is he the murderer?
Or is he hiding something else?
But your butler, Bernard, informed me he saw a young man who looked a lot like him in the garden yesterday, and that you were talking to him. Is that true?
Hasn't been to the academy in a month? But what about the practicum?
There was no practicum. Summoning golems on academy territory is forbidden by law. So what about Bernard's statement?
Well, Wilhelm did come over that day.
Why didn't you tell me anything?
I completely forgot about it. I didn't think it would be useful either. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Instead, tell me if you've noticed anything strange in Wilhelm Greenhill's behavior.
To tell you the truth, I did notice, yes. He's never come here before, since we've known each other for only a little. So there was no reason for him to visit. He seemed anxious, jumped from one subject to another, asked about my security, and was surprised that there were so few policemen.
Go on.
I talked about Lauren, and about no one being able to get to her because of all the security. Why? Do you suspect him of something? Of course, he's a mage, but he's an elemental mage. The best student on the course. Necromancy isn't his specialization.
He's not an elemental mage, Mia. Wilhelm is a universal mage, a very gifted young man, and judging by what the teachers told me, his abilities are amazing.
My blood ran cold. Could Wilhelm have something to do with these murders? But then, it turns out that it was he who tried to kill Lauren? Oh, God. I couldn't even bear the thought of it. I mean, Lauren is in love with him.
Is everything all right, Miss Silverlight? You look pale.
Do you think it could have been him?
That I don't know. But Wilhelm Greenhill has had every possibility to commit these crimes, including the last one. Although he's only a suspect, so everything can change if other facts become uncovered. He certainly has some explaining to do at the very least.
Uncle said that the necromancer is deadly ill, and Wilhelm doesn't look ill at all.
I'm not saying it was him, Miss Silverlight. I have no proof, only suspicions. But I can say that the symptoms of some illnesses are completely unnoticeable for those who don't know.
Could Wilhelm commit these horrible crimes? He's so lively and cheerful. Lively? That's right. He once said that not many people can enjoy life the way he does. Could Wilhelm have started killing to prolong his life, which he loved so much? Those thoughts made me feel absolutely terrible.
No need to get so upset, Miss Silverlight. Tell me, have you thought of someone you can turn to for help? Is there someone you could provide your safety? Whilst Lord Silverlight is helping the police with the investigation?
Looks like this is going to be a very important choice for me. Now, who can I turn to for help?
Ooh, we get to make a... Oh, what? Wait, why can I save here?
Goddamn game.
This is the one place where I would like to save. Why did you take that away from me?
So we can pick between Alistair, Robin, or Maximilian.
Well, we've got Alistair, the asshole bully, who has shown a softer side to us, occasionally, very slightly, but still mostly an asshole.
We've got Robin, the childhood friend, who is a bit too, not clingy, but needy.
And we've got Maximilian, the suave, dark elf, who doesn't have magic, detective. While we ponder our decisions, let's take a little break because I've run out of water. Now, when we left off, we had to pick who were we going to stay with? Who can provide us with enough security against the murderer? And our options are Alistair, the asshole bully from school, who's shown us a softer side but is still an asshole. Robin, our childhood friend who lives in the slums. Or Maximilian, the detective investigating the murder case, who may be somewhere around 28 to 30. Definitely too old to be flirting with a 17-year-old. Now, I mean, I feel like I've got to pick Maximilian. He's the only one who hasn't been acting like a complete asshole during all of this. Well, Robin wasn't too bad. Robin wasn't an asshole, but he was also willing to fight Alistair at a moment's notice. These two are such children compared to Maximilian, which makes sense because they are essentially children compared to Maximilian, who is a grown adult who should not be flirting with a child. I guess we gotta pick Maximilian though. Like, if we're trying to inhabit Mia's point of view, she would definitely pick Maximilian over the other two. So Maximilian, it shall be.
I don't want to ask anyone. I hope that you will take up my case. I would really want that.
You mean...
Detective seems embarrassed. What if he won't want to bother with me? Hi, Dusk of Neela. How you doing today? Hello, Dusk of Neela. I love you too. I would like you to keep taking care of my safety, if that's possible. But if you don't want to, or simply don't have the time...
Of course. I will always find the time for a sweet lady like you. To tell you the truth, I wasn't expecting that answer. But I'm very happy that you made this choice.
Really? And I was afraid that you'd refuse.
Refuse? That wouldn't have even occurred to me. But the problem is, now I have no one to leave you with. Since Lord Silverlight and I will be very busy with the investigation, he will be searching for the necromancer's presumed altar. And I will keep looking for Wilhelm Greenhill.
But you can always take me with you. I'll stay out of the way, I promise.
You don't understand, Mia. That could be dangerous for you.
But I'll be with you. That's much safer than staying here.
Has anyone ever told you that you're very sly? Well then, if that's what you want, I hope old man Askell won't turn me into a rat for dragging you around with me and putting you in danger.
I'm sure that nothing is threatening me when I'm with you.
You're very sweet. Really, I feel like a knight in shining armor when I hear you say that.
Here we go. I'm embarrassed again. I really do like the detective very much. But it seems like I'm letting myself get carried away.
Whoa! Jesus Christ!
Calm down, Officer Gray. I don't know what is so dramatic that you need to burst in like that, but Jesus Christ.
Detective Blackwood. Oh, pardon me, lady. Detective, this just came in that the murderer has committed a new crime. His victim is a half-elf from the lower district. But then, this means that the necromancer has enough souls for rebirth. Mia, we need to tell this to Lord Askell right away. Officer Gray, please take care of the crime scene being blocked off and send there a brigade of criminal investigators. Already done, Detective Blackwood. Excellent. Mia, come with me.
What? The necromancer has cut the last soul? He did it so quickly, and I still haven't found the location of the altar. Actually, now that you mention it, why was the necromancer not going after half-elves in the lower districts beforehand? Why was he going for aristocrats, the people that the police would most care about, and also would be, like, the most well-protected? If there were people in the lower districts, essentially the slums, why wouldn't you always go for them? No one's going to care about them. They would be the essentially less dead. We can't let him regenerate. Or else, with his new immortal body, this warlock will be impossible to defeat.
I think there's no point in searching for Wilhelm Greenhill anymore. Even if he is that necromancer, we'll probably find the perpetrator at the place where he plans to perform the regeneration ritual. If you have any options of where to look for, then we must go there right now.
You're right, my boy. But tell me one thing. What is my niece doing here?
She's coming with us.
Have you lost your mind, Max? Think about it. Why will we take Mia with us if there's nothing threatening her anymore? The necromancer got the last soul, so we won't need Mia's anymore. Now he will be occupied only by the ritual.
Old man, I promise to take your niece with me. Don't make me break the word of a gentleman.
The word of a gentleman? Ha! I won't let you drag Mia to a potentially dangerous place just because she wants to see Detective Blackwood at work. Uncle, it's my decision. Detective Blackwood has nothing to do with it. Don't defend this irresponsible dunce, Mia. I'm not defending. I just want to say I'll go with the detective even if you'll be against it. I'm surrounded by crazy people. Fine, since I can't change your mind. Bear in mind, Max, if anything happens to her, you won't have a living bone in your body.
I don't think my father will appreciate that, but okay. Now tell us about the places where the necromancer can be hiding the altar.
I have some options. Take a look. You see these red ink marks? Okay, so this is the first time we've gotten to see the actual city proper. Seems to be laid out in something of a grid pattern in parts. Got a road going along here. This looks like maybe some kind of fortress or a castle on the edge. The La Grande River. Got a tributary here. La Fontanka River? Maybe Fortune River? Although I don't know why. I think I would think that I could guess at what that name probably translates from in Russian. Having said that, the La article suggests that it might be French. So we've got 3 options. Lower right, no idea what that could be. This one over here on the Quartier? And one across the river. By a bridge, maybe? Or a weir? This is where I marked the most suitable places in the city for such a complicated ritual. These are large abandoned structures that are far from the public view. Can the choice really be that small? There are only 3 marked here. These places have unique properties. They're all located in areas with high concentration of negative energy. This is an old cemetery, a demolished prison, and a psychiatric hospital which was closed down last year due to a fire. Okay. I believe that the necromancer turned his attention to these specific places.
But why does he need extra energy? Would the power he'll get from the ritual dagger be enough? Or does the necromancer plan to use it for restraining the silent sorrow?
Exactly. The thing is that the silent sorrow consumes the necromancer's strength. If he doesn't have enough energy to control the dagger, he will die. And he knows it. It's possible that this exact moment, the mage is already performing the ritual.
It's possible that this exact moment, the mage is already performing the ritual, but where? We don't have the time to ride around town looking for the right place. Of course, I could send police squads to each of these places, but what use will there be of them if they catch the warlock there?
Huh? But what use will there be of them if they catch the warlock there? They'll have caught the murderer before he could... Huh? I'm confusion.
That'd be useless.
I'm confused. Are we saying that the police are no match for the murderer? That it has to be specifically Uncle Askold who is the one to capture? That's the only way that would make sense. This is exactly why we need to figure out the location of the altar as soon as possible and go there ourselves. I think we can cross off the psychiatric hospital. Why is that? They started renovating it a couple months ago. I've heard that they plan to have it rebuilt by spring. So I doubt that the necromancer would use a place with workers.
Unless he's the one responsible for the renovations. Great, one less place. But what about the other 2?
The cemetery and the prison are on the same shore, unlike the hospital. And they're both approximately the same distance away from the Silverlight Mansion. We can choose either direction.
You mean that we'll have to guess?
I'm sorry, Max, but this is the best I can come up with. So where are we going to go if we have no choice but to ride blind? This sounds like it's going to be another choice. Let's make another quick save then. Seeing as we didn't get to make a save last time we had the choice.
Where are we going to go if we have no choice but to ride blind?
Can I choose?
Why not? Where do you want to go?
Why are we letting the teenage girl pick? I mean, I know it's largely indifferent. You could just flip a coin, but still, it seems like a weird thing. To the demolished prison or to the cemetery? Well, I mean, if he's a necromancer, I feel like the cemetery would be the most likely place for him. Don't you think? Then again, people visit cemeteries. I don't think that people visit demolished prisons. I guess we'll pick cemetery. How about the cemetery? Fine, let's go there. I hope we'll manage to reach the right place in time if it turns out that we got the wrong one.
So we'll have to spend time searching the cemetery to understand whether the warlock is there or not?
That's not necessary at all. The thing is that the cemetery emits quite a lot of negative energy. However, as you remember, our mage uses a masking powder that conceals any energy that bursts of such kind. All I will have to do is come close enough to feel the energy, or lack thereof.
Ah. So it won't be like the signal that we find, but rather the lack of a signal that will be the indication of where to go. So if you won't sense any magic, then the necromancer is definitely there?
Precisely. Could you tell me how ill the necromancer will... Can you tell me how will the necromancer be able to use the cemetery's energy to keep the dagger from killing him? Simple. If the necromancer feels his strength leaving him, he will be able to absorb some energy from the environment in order to temporarily maintain his reserve of magic. This warlock wants to live, and he will fight to the end. But what will happen if he becomes immortal?
Well, then he'll be immortal, Mia. Try to keep up.
That will be a big problem. But won't he stop killing after he regenerates, seeing he'll get what he wanted? You're so naive, Mia. It's not just about the murders. When a mage starts studying necromancy, his outlook, personality, and lifestyle change. That type of magic has a great influence on the one practicing it. A mage who becomes a necromancer can't go back to not being one. It's a step into the abyss. Once you take it all you can do is fall. There's no way back.
Lord Silverlight, you've almost reached the cemetery. Lady Mia, you may stay in the coach if you wish.
No, I'd rather come with you. What a sinistrous place. Is sinistrous a word? Who knows? Maybe I just meant sinister. What a sinister place. It's so quiet here. No birds, no singing, no leaves rustling. As if time itself paused, waiting for resurrection.
Did we... Hang on, let me see if I saw that right. There is. This looks an awful lot like
Maybe it isn't.
But if this is a crucifix, and possibly this as well, like a fallen over crucifix, does that imply Jesus was like here in this world of elves and humans? Was Jesus an elf? Doesn't look much like a necromancer Sabbath. It's so deserted. Lord Silverlight, what do you think?
I can sense that someone was here recently. Someone with magic. Maybe it was just one of the visitors, but it clearly wasn't the warlock we're looking for. In any case, no one even tried to hide their presence. So I cannot confidently say, we've made a mistake. This isn't the right place. I'm sorry. I was the one who wanted to go here. Turns out we're late. It's all over? Don't say that, Mia. Nothing's over yet. And this isn't your fault. We didn't have any clear information regarding where to go anyway. We simply shot in the dark and missed.
Anyway, enough chit-chat. Now that we know the necromancer is performing the ritual at the prison, we don't have a moment to waste. To the coach!
I hope we're not too late. So this is the old prison? I was expecting to see something more frightening.
I'm
confused to see anything at all. I thought you guys described this as a demolished prison. How is anything left standing if it's been demolished? Was that a translation error? Who knows? The building looks empty. Maybe they meant condemned. The building looks empty. Could the necromancer have already completed the ritual? I hope Uncle and Maximilian won't make me sit in the coach. I'm dying to find out what's going on in there. Unbelievable. This is the first time I called the detective by name, even if it was only in my mind. Maximilian. Now is not the time to be getting lost in your fantasies, Mia.
I don't think anyone's here. Over to you, Honorable Lord Silverlight.
Honorable Lord? Max, are you having a courtesy attack? All right, enough jokes. Yeah, now's not the time for joking, guys. I don't feel the energy of this place, though it's supposed to be quite strong. There's no doubt that the necromancer was here and used the masking powder. And it's possible that the warlock is still here.
Then what are we waiting for?
There's no one here. Could Uncle have made a mistake? No, that's impossible. He's not the kind that makes mistakes where magic is concerned. I'm sure that the altar is somewhere around here, which means that so is the necromancer.
We have to keep moving. Come on. Mia, don't fall behind.
If Robin found out about me being in a place like this, he would have been very upset. I always put so much care into my safety that he tries to shield me from everything. I think it would only make him happy if I stayed home and never went out. Exactly. That's why we don't like Robin. He's too needy. Not exactly clingy, but needy. Although, again, Mia, this really isn't the time to be thinking such thoughts. We're hunting a serial killer, a man who's killed over 20 people. Strange. For some reason, now it seems like I'd be very bored with Robin. He's no match for Detective Blackwood. Where is he, by the way? Oops, looks like I really did fall behind. I have to go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. We got lost and wandered into, well, whatever this scene is. And also, what do you mean there's no one here? I can see at least one person. Or at least what very clearly looks like a person. There's no one here. I think I'm lost. Uncle is going to kill me. Great. I begged them to take me along, promised to behave, and got lost. What's that over there? Oh God, that looks like a body covered by a blanket. Oh shit. So this is the altar? So the necromancer made it right here? Someone's coming. Maybe it's Uncle. Uncle? Who's there? Oh, shit. I called it. Right from the get-go. It was old Crazy Eyes Wilhelm himself. And he would have got away with it too if it wasn't for us.
Mia?
What an unexpected surprise. Wilhelm. I was hoping it wouldn't be you. I disappointed you? What a pity. I know that you didn't come here alone. I feel magic. Did you bring Lord Silverlight with you? You tried to kill Lauren. How could you? Perhaps you didn't know this, but she happens to love you. Didn't know? You think I'm an idiot? Lauren hinted at her feelings in every possible way. Even if I was deaf and dumb, I still couldn't have ignored that. And you, knowing that, still tried to take her soul? I don't expect you to understand. Just believe that I did that without pleasure. Sorry for bumping the table. Now I don't need her soul, just like I don't need yours. You're too late. Everything is ready for the ritual, and I am no longer afraid of death. It doesn't exist for me anymore. Are you really deadly ill? Where are your ears? I've just told you that's in the past. Yes, I was ill, and I found out about it approximately 2 years ago. There is no cure for my illness. I had a choice. I could either patiently wait for death or fight it. I chose the latter. But you took the lives of so many half-elves. My life is worth all those deaths. Now, get out of my way. I need to complete the ritual before Silverlight ruins everything. Oh, God. My new body is on the altar, as my old one is almost completely destroyed by the illness. The silent sorrow will transfer my soul into this empty dummy and bring it to life with the energy I've gathered. Now, pardon me, I have no time for chit-chat. Wilhelm walked up to the altar, dramatically yanked the blanket off the body that was lying there, and started chanting. He raised the silent sorrow over himself and whispered, "I hope this works." And then plunged the dagger straight into his heart. He fell to the floor, pouring scarlet blood all over everything. Wilhelm? I felt sick. My legs failed from what I saw, and I slowly sank to the floor. Nothing seemed to be happening. Could the ritual have failed? Wilhelm, he killed himself. Oh God, is this not the end? Oh, what an ominous sound for this magic ritual of immortality to be happening, sounding like a failing light bulb. Suddenly, the body on the altar moved. It's alive! Could this be my mind playing tricks on me? It sounded like a rattling tic-tac box. Suddenly, the cadaver jerked and fell from the altar. Finally, he slowly rose to his feet, looking around with blurry eyes. His eyes looked blurry to you, Mia? I didn't think that this would hurt so much. I was overtaken by uncontrollable fear that I couldn't take my eyes off the creature that was moving toward me faster and faster. Holy shit! I thought he looked like weirdly proportioned under the blanket, but I mean, something looking weirdly proportioned in these drawings isn't unusual, but holy shit! You didn't think, like, maybe you'd want to put some clothes on while you were doing this? Or, like, you knew that you were going to be in this body afterwards. I like that apparently he didn't think to give himself, like, elbows. He's, like, got straight arms. And one of them is quite clearly, like, much longer than the other one. I must look repulsive. But I feel fantastic. Thanks to this body being already dead, I can neither get sick nor die. Plus, all my body parts are replaceable. Ooh, woo? Wilhelm? Is that you? I apologize for my appearance. I wasn't expecting to have ladies at my death. The only thing I miss now is my hair. That's when Wilhelm cast a look at his old body that was lying at his feet in a puddle of blood. Then again, I can just use this scalp and let some part of me stay the same. Nausea swept over me with new force. A strange creature that used to be Wilhelm started bending its arms, wiggling its fingers, and making other movements as though it were trying the new body. When he distracted himself, I tried to get up and move toward the door as discreetly as possible.
Leaving so soon?
I
I have a strange feeling. I think my body is hungry.
Hungry?
Blood. Yes, that's what I need.
I would have never thought that I'd feel desire for such disgusting food. Nevertheless, I feel I should satisfy my hunger right away.
Oh boy. Those are some fancy teeth you got.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! My heart sank. Those teeth! Is he going to eat me? Help! Help me! I'm here! Uncle Max!
Get away from her, you freak! Oh, guns exist in this world. That's news to me. If guns exist in this world, what exactly did we think that the police officers wouldn't be able to do if we'd sent them here by themselves? She probably should have done that before the ritual? Yeah, she probably should have. Then again, looking at this perspective, it's hard to know if this is a real gun or maybe, like, just a flat picture of a gun that Maximilian's holding. Get away from her, you freak.
Freak? What a disrespectful thing to say about a dead man. My body hasn't even cooled yet.
Stop playing around, Warlock.
Look what you've turned into. Is this what you wanted?
You're just a living corpse, sewn together from pieces of dead flesh. The key word is living. A good suit will be enough to hide the scars. Now, it's time for me to be off. You may keep the girl. I'll find myself something else for dinner. You're not going anywhere. Whoa. Who's going to stop me? The silent sorrow not only gave me new life, it gave me more power than I could ever dream of. You'll never defeat me, Silverlight. Monsters like you shouldn't exist. It's an insult to the sole meaning of life. Wait, there's only one meaning of life? Okay. So you insist on having a fight? That is so foolish of you. Ooh, dramatic fighting action. Is that all you've got? Whoa! Can you feel the energy in the air? Just why did they pick that such a lame sound effect? The sound of a bag of marbles.
Uncle Askold attacked time after time, but his magic didn't seem to cause any damage to the reborn necromancer. Could it be possible that even such a strong mage like Uncle won't be able to kill this eerie creature now? I was watching the fight in terror when the necromancer turned his attention to me. Mia. I wonder if your death will make Silverlight stop trying to catch me. Wilhelm stretched out his arm in my direction, and right then and there, I felt a terrifying heat come from him.
Oh! I think this is the first time we've seen ourselves outside of the menu picture. That's what we've been wearing this entire time. What are these shoes? What are those?
My body felt like it was being squeezed with a clamp. I couldn't breathe, and everything inside me burned like there was hellfire under my skin. Also, like, the detective was brandishing a gun before, but I haven't heard it go off. Why was he brandishing it? Did he think it could do anything, or? Because if so, why isn't he firing it? I realized that I was hovering above the ground, but I couldn't understand which way was up and which way was down. My mind became obscure. Everything seemed so flimsy and far away. As if through cotton, I heard Maximilian scream.
Let go of her, you scumbag!
But the necromancer just laughed.
You don't really think I'll listen to you, do you, detective? Then this is no one else's fault but your own.
Maximilian swiftly pulled out his gun and shot the necromancer right in the forehead.
What do you mean swiftly pulled out his gun? He came into the room holding the gun. Yes, exactly right, Bruxus. Man, Daniel Matt has just the best emotes. Oh, even the gunshot was such a underwhelming noise.
He staggered in surprise, but remained standing. Blood trickled out of the small round hole in his forehead, which he carelessly wiped off with his hand. Though that didn't distract him for long, it was enough for me to be released from the shackles of his magic, which sent me crashing to the floor. Apparently the whole set was gifted to him years ago, just from Etsy. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, wow, that's amazing. I mean, they do look kind of like... You know, obviously, I don't even know if there's anything specific to him. I don't know enough about him as to why elephants would be what he picked. They do look kind of like a generic pack, but they're such a good pack, honestly. That they really work. Imbecile! You can't kill me with a weapon like that. Fighting such weak opponents has made me weary. Perchance we'll meet again. Suddenly, a thick smog filled the room, making it very hard to see anything. Oh, his grandma gave him a little stuffed elephant when he was a baby, that he still got today. Oh, that's so sweet. And when it cleared, we saw that the warlock was gone without a trace. That scoundrel tricked us. He's run off yet again.
I mean, he didn't really trick us. He just obscured our view, so we couldn't prevent him from leaving. It wasn't exactly trickery. He, like, basically even told us he was like, leaving, right before he made all the smoke come up. The warlock will get what's coming to him. What's important now is that Mia is alive.
So, is he a lich?
Basically, I mean, he's a necromancer who put his soul into a dead body so he can live forever.
Yeah, I'd say that's a lich.
What's important now is that Mia is alive. It really goes to show why you don't bring teenage girls on your hunt for murderers. It seems like Uncle was right about all of this, about us not coming. Because it seems like it's our fault that the murderer got away.
On a thankful impulse, I threw myself at the detective and hugged him tightly, flooding his suit with tears. I simply didn't have the strength nor the desire to say anything. He saved my life. Detective Blackwood saved my life. He was clearly embarrassed by my behavior, but I was glad he didn't push me away. I really needed the support. I felt the detective put his hot palm on my shoulder and whisper,
"Everything's fine, Mia. You're safe now."
The detective's voice soothed and encouraged. Well, I still couldn't let Maximilian out of my arms. Until Uncle got involved.
Max, I believed I warned you about what would happen if you put my only niece in danger. You're going to break all my bones right in front of her, old man?
You reckless idiot! She could have been hurt!
You're right. I shouldn't have brought her with us.
I don't mean you, you dunce. I mean myself. I shouldn't have let you persuade me so easily. Uncle, he's done so much for me in these days. I was so wrong about him before, while he really cared about me, and in his own way, was kind to me this whole time. That's about enough of sloppy sentimentality. It's time for us to go home.
Go home? We're not going to even try and search for the warlock and stuff? Like, he can't have gotten that far. Put up, like, a perimeter of, like, police officers or something.
You know, do the whole fugitive thing. I calmed down a bit, finally let go of the detective, and felt very self-conscious about the way I behaved. Wiping the tears off my face with a sleeve, I came up to Uncle. I spent a couple moments just staring in his eyes because I didn't know how to show my gratitude until he silently opened his arms for a hug himself. Likewise, I silently embraced him and just stood there while he was stroking my head. Uncle. Calm down. Just don't start crying again. It's over. The warlock is gone. He doesn't need your soul anymore.
A month later. This isn't the epilogue, is it? Like, we can't really let an immortal necromancer escape like that. After he tried to kill us and our best friend.
Over a month has passed since the terrible events when Wilhelm turned out to be the necromancer who killed half-bloods. The thought of Wilhelm still being alive and hiding somewhere in the city in his new terrifying appearance sent shivers down my spine.
I don't know why he'd stay in the city. You'd think he'd want to get out of Dodge now that everyone knows what he looks like and like what he did and stuff.
I remembered his teeth and what he said about being hungry. Did he really want to kill and eat me? That's so creepy.
Yeah, creepy's one word for it.
Maximilian got the whole police force looking for Wilhelm, or rather, what he's become, but no luck yet. It's very sad for me to think about the murderer turning out to be a familiar elf. Everyone probably thinks that none of their friends or acquaintances can be criminals, but unfortunately, things like this do happen.
Yep, things like this do happen. Remember that, people. When you're laying in bed at night, one of your friends could be a necromancer. Do you know where your children are?
Nothing was threatening my life anymore, and I resumed attending the academy. Now, after this whole story, the other students started treating me a bit better. The story of how I took part in the search for the killer slightly improved my reputation among classmates. Rumors of that horrible story spread very quickly, and now there was barely anyone who didn't know that Mia Silverlight, the half-blood, participated in the showdown with the necromancer along with a detective and her wizard uncle. Though I didn't show myself in the best light, I spent more time panicking and not knowing what to do, but Maximilian was amazing. After that time when he saved my life, I saw him in a whole new light. Yes, he's older than me, much older, but he's so brave, so interesting. To tell the truth, I couldn't get myself to stop thinking about him, and that made me feel extremely embarrassed. I walked up to the window and looked out into the yard once again. Uncle mentioned that Maximilian is supposed to drop by on business today. I was dying to see him again. I've noticed the detective looks at me with interest and pays me a lot of compliments. Is it possible that he likes me too? Or is he just being polite? Uncle noticed that I really liked this dark elf a long time ago, and now he sometimes teases me about it. But he doesn't seem to mind at all. Maybe I should tell Maximilian how I feel. But how will he react? I'm so scared of the uncertainty. Ooh, I didn't see this choice coming. Confess to having feelings for the detective, or keep silent? Well, I mean, if we're again making this choice from the perspective of Mia, the 17-year-old girl, I feel like we would confess our feelings. I don't see why we would keep silent. I don't like it, but it is what Mia would do. So, let's confess. Yes, I must pluck up my courage and tell him, or else I'll just die of suspense. If he doesn't love me then, oh well, I'll just have to deal with it. But what if he feels the same way? Suddenly, I heard hoofs clattering in the yard. You mean hoofs? I walked up to the window and saw a familiar coach. It's Maximilian! I think I've been pronouncing it Maximilian, but it's Maximilian. Here I am at the Silverlight Mansion once again on some contrived pretext. A few days ago, Victor Coldstone disappeared. It was on the very day when a ship called Dream Revival, which, according to my information, was built on Victor's money, left port. Yeah. What exactly did that subplot have to do with absolutely anything? Why did that character even exist? Our annoying teacher who we lied to about and told that we loved him just to get out of him yelling at us, turned out to be the grandson of a famous pirate who became a teacher through nepotism, and who himself wanted to be a famous seafarer, has gone off to be potentially another pirate? What a weird subplot. I think Victor decided to go to sea after all, and didn't tell anyone. I don't even know if I should wish him luck in making his dream come true, or if that's a bad idea. As far as I remember, he was always attracted to pirate romance. I hope he won't come down to that. Then again, you never know. Victor is too unpredictable. That was exactly what I wanted to tell Old Man Askold about, though I could clearly understand that it would be of no interest to him. Lately, I've been looking for any reason to return to that mansion. There's no use lying, at least to myself. I know that I keep coming here again and again just to see Askold's niece, the 17-year-old girl that I, a 30-year-old man, have been flirting with and would like to see more of. A 30-year-old police officer. A 30-year-old man of the law with a lot of authority and power would like to see this 17-year-old child. Mia, what have you done to me? I would say that I fell in love like a little boy, except for the fact I'd never fell for anyone, even when I was younger. Now I'm 30. Oh, it's confirmed that he is definitely 30. And I can't stop thinking about a girl who's almost twice as young. Yep, you're a real fucking monster, Maximilian. How old is she? Probably 17? So twice is a slight exaggeration. Yeah, but only slightly. Only slightly, Maximilian. She's 17. What's the math that they're using, like the tabloids and stuff? What's the math? Hang on, let me look this up. What's the math for that? It should be, so if he's 30, it's because it's supposed to be like, what, you divide your age by half and then add 7 years, is it? Is how low you're supposed to be able to date? I think that's how they use it in, like, celebrities. So it's... How do I do divide? Hang on, let me get calculator. 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 So 30 divided by 2 is 15 plus 7. I mean, I could probably... 22. 22 is the youngest this man should be dating. Not 17. But she's still much younger than me. This worries me. But what worries me even more is that Mia seems to be showing some feelings for me as well. That makes me even more uncomfortable. Askell told me about Mia eavesdropping on our conversation about the killer and the course of the investigation. Huh. She really is only a child. That was exactly why the old man decided to soundproof his study. He must think that Mia will keep doing things like that. What happened to me? I used to be so confident. I knew all the answers to all the questions, and I definitely knew what to do. But now, there's chaos in my head. My fingers are all thumbs, and all I could think about is her. I've become so absent-minded and forgetful, it seems like I might not be able to continue investigating soon. Good day, Max. Are you going to tell me another pointless story again, or should I just call Mia? Uncle Askell, you're supposed to be her guardian. You're supposed to be taking care of her. Why do you enable this? You were a terrible, guardian.
What? What does she have to do with anything?
You know what? Or do you want me to say it out loud?
Damn, old man. If you haven't figured it out already, then you could have been more gentle about it.
I couldn't refuse myself the pleasure of seeing Detective Blackwood lose his bearings and start stuttering.
And why do you always know about everything that's happening?
Empathy, Max. I'm great at sensing moods and feelings of humans and elves around me.
I suddenly felt frustrated. Having Lord Silverlight knowing about me liking Mia didn't make me too happy. Though, on the other hand, it didn't look like he was against it. Suddenly, I heard soft footsteps on the staircase leading to the second floor. It's her.
Oh, wow. I just remembered that I have some important business to attend to at the laboratory.
What? Askell, what are you...
All right, kids, have fun. I will be very busy for at least another half an hour at the least.
With those words, Askell quickly marched out of the sitting room without giving me a chance to say anything. Damn, old man.
Oh, look at us. Finally get to see us in the flesh. We look cute. I love the hair. She wearing a corset? I don't like how thin she is in the waist there. That looks uncomfortable. Good day, Detective. I thought I heard Uncle's voice.
Hello, Mia. He had some urgent matters come up, and he's just left. Mia just stared at me for a few seconds, looking like she was collecting her thoughts. Finally, she spoke.
So, Uncle's not here?
He said that he was going to his study, though I don't know if he made it there. To be honest, I was almost sure that old fox is somewhere around here. Surely he left us alone for a reason. I wouldn't be a tiny bit surprised if I found out he was listening in on us this instant. But I'm clearly not telling Mia that.
I want to tell you something important, Detective.
Those words made a strange feeling of anxiety wash over me. Is something wrong? Are you in trouble? I'm almost sure That wasn't what she wanted to say, but I had to ask.
Let's talk about this in the garden.
Great idea, Mia. Let's go. We went out into the garden. The weather was warm and sunny as usual. It's strange, but sometimes it seems to me like there's never bad weather in this city. What did you want to talk to me about?
I wanted to thank you once more for saving my life.
I feel disappointment rush over me. I don't even know what I was hoping for, but clearly it wasn't this. No need to thank me. It is, after all, my job. Plus, your uncle wouldn't have let me go alive if anything were to happen to you. I was trying to look cheerful as usual, but I wasn't doing a good job at it for some reason. Suddenly, without further notice, Mia blurted out,
Mr. Blackwood, I think I'm in love with you.
For a second, I thought I'd forgotten how to breathe. All I could do was just stare at her. Damn, I must breathe or else I'll suffocate.
I mean, what the fuck would you even talk to a 17-year-old about? I'm not 30 yet, but I can't imagine wanting to spend time with a 17-year-old. Can't imagine anything more boring. Imagine having to talk to them about how was school? How was high school? What kind of inane drama happened to you at high school today? Good lord. Sounds dreadful.
Damn, I must breathe or else I'll suffocate. Dying from running out of air would be stupid in a situation like this.
If you don't, then I...
Oh damn, this is so unexpected. So my feelings are mutual? I felt like the ground was crumbling under my feet. Mia, you see, I'm much older than you. You're a young, underage girl. Again, I should underline that. Underage. You were young and underage. I am very old and you are underage. I don't think that this is anything more than mere teenage infatuation, and it will pass soon.
I'm turning 18 in 2 weeks.
Well, goddamn then. Who cares? But that's a bullet dodged. That makes it all okay then. She isn't too young for you once she turns 18. Fucking hell. I swear to God, he better not change his tune. Stick to your guns, Detective Blackwood. I'm counting on you. Oh, thank God. Woo! That doesn't change the fact I'm almost twice as old as you.
Is that really that important?
I didn't even know what to say to that. I suppose she was... No, she's not!
She's not right. She didn't even make a point. She asked a question. She's wrong. It is important. You are much, much older and in a position of a considerable authority.
Well then. Oh my God.
I mean, I knew that this was where this was going. There was no way it wasn't going to be where it was going. But oh my God, nonetheless.
Well then, allow me to invite you on a date in 2 weeks. Are you in?
Yeah, of course I'm in.
Good ending. Meet each other halfway.
Ugh, ugh. Meet each other halfway? That sounds awful in that context. Yeah. So it seems like the same person who did the background art was the person who did the writing? Or maybe all the art? Was this like a one-person... I guess it was like a one-person thing. They did all the art and all the writing, and then... Oh yes, write some backgrounds. Salamandra 88. Well, that's impressive. And they just got like one friend to help with the programming. Oh, that's an impressive effort for a one-person team, basically. Ooh, you got a diary. And sound effects, yes. What is this sound effects for? This diary. July 15th. Wait, no. This has got the alchemy symbol. This is July 15th. I've remembered that I have a sort of anniversary today. Exactly 2 years have passed since I found out that I'm dying. I can remember my reaction quite clearly. No, it wasn't shock, nor was it terror. I just didn't believe it. Haha, right. It couldn't be true, right, Wilhelm? Things like that happen to everyone, but not to you. When I realized that it was true, and there was no treatment for it, I felt the whole world die for me. I lost my future, and suddenly became an outsider in a world where everyone has some sort of plans and dreams. I think I should somehow celebrate this date. If I don't have another episode in the evening, then I'll just go to some bar and get wasted. July 18th. Today, I've been to the city morgue again. Old man Franco doesn't want to sell me any more corpse parts. He said that relatives of the deceased are starting to get suspicious. Of course they'll be suspicious when that idiot barely covers up the lack of body parts. Not long ago, Franco told some elves who came to pick up a deceased relative that the corpse's hand was bitten off by rats. What nonsense. Working with such fools is more trouble than it's worth. But that's okay. My cadaver is almost ready. I hope I'll have enough strength to maintain the magic field that's preventing it from decomposing for a bit longer. July 19th. Today, my cousin invited me for a walk in the park. She's always so cheerful that it bothers me sometimes. She doesn't know anything about what's happening to me, and I'm doing my best to make it seem like I'm the same jolly chatterbox Wilhelm that she used to know. But today, I was forced to turn down her invitation. I told her I had extracurriculars at the academy, but instead, I had to work on the cadaver. Furthermore, I still haven't found the last soul for the Silent Sorrow. July 20. I had another episode this morning. I climbed to the attic as usual so no one would see me in that state. But I didn't even have the strength to reach the blanket I put for myself. I just lay there on the bare, dusty floorboards, waiting for the pain to stop. It's a nightmare. It's impossible to move or breathe, even the beating of my own heart only intensifies the suffering. My nose bled for so long that I thought I'd die of blood loss today. When I finally managed to get up, I felt horribly dizzy, and there was ringing in my ears. Lauren came by in the evening, but I told her that I was leaving soon, and I refused to meet with her. In reality, I was afraid I'd lose consciousness during the walk. This episode was stronger than usual, and it took me a long time to recover from it. July 21st. The silent sorrow spoke to me again. The weaker I become, the louder I hear its voice in my head. It knows that I'm close to losing the ability to keep it from getting into my mind. I used to be very scared of it taking my soul. Now I'm not even sure that I have a soul. Speaking of souls, I still can't manage to find the last half-blood for the ritual. The cadaver is ready, and I feel like I'm running out of time. July 23rd. Lauren. There's something in her. Something special. It's not out of beauty. I mean, not only it. She has some inner fire. Strength, passion. It would be better if cousin stopped visiting me. I am almost a dead man, and she is too alive for me. I sincerely don't want to see her, and at the same time, I can't imagine what will happen to me if she stops coming. July 28th. Damn, today was a terrible day. Or, it was a terrible 24 hours? I can't remember how many hours I'd spent unconscious in the attic, but I only know one thing. The episode had never been this long before. I was in so much pain that I even puked, and the blanket is all dirty with nose blood. There's still ringing in my head, and I can barely stand. Parents think that I'm out having fun with friends again. If they took a bit more interest in my life, then they would have known I haven't had any friends for a long time now. Besides Lauren. Speaking of her, she seems to have told me that her friend Mia Silverlight is a half-blood too. I think I have found the last soul for the silent sorrow. August 1st. Today, I checked my ritual ingredients, and it turned out I have only 1 quartz crystal left. That's not good. When I go after a soul, I usually take at least a couple with me, just in case. On the bright side, I still have plenty of masking powder. August 2nd. Why me? Or why did this happen to me? I don't want to die. I have so many plans, hopes. My talents could have made this world a better place. I am a very strong elemental mage. Plus I'm talented in alchemy, necromancy, summoning. What use is all of that if I'm going to die anyway? There will be no use from my death. But there could have been from my life. Damn, my nose is bleeding again. Looks like it's time for you to go to the attic, Wilhelm. The rest of the page has smudged bloodstains on it. August 3rd. I was at the Silverlight Mansion today. I wanted to wait for that half-blood, Lauren's friend. She came very late, plus she wasn't alone. I'm actually used to waiting, but the problem was that I've dropped the last crystal somewhere, so I had to run away there. I had to run away from there, empty-handed. Sometimes I think I hear a clock ticking in my head. Tick-tock, tick-tock. There's less and less time. I panic and make mistakes. What's more, I now hear the silent sorrow almost all the time. I'm dying, die. Further writing is illegible. The text turns to scribbles. August 4th. Lauren introduced me to Mia Silverlight today. She didn't make any impression on me at all. She's so plain, is that it? I can't get rid of the thought that Lauren is half-blood too. I know that she likes me. She never tried to hide it. However, I keep acting like I don't notice the adoring look she gives me, and I don't hear the intonation of her voice when she speaks to me. If she found out who I really am, she would probably turn her back on me with disgust, as she should. I'm repulsive. Hang on, let me take a quick drink. I can't lose any more time. I must get the last soul any way I can. Even if it will be Lauren's soul. I'm sorry. Sorry. I don't want to die. I won't give up, and I'll do anything to stay alive. Sorry. August 5th. This morning, I saw Mia Silverlight again when I was walking Lauren to the academy. She complained about something bad always happening in her life. Something bad? What could she know about bad things? Some people don't appreciate what they have. They suffer from imaginary problems. They cry and complain. It's disgusting. I got new crystals. I'm going to be waiting for Lauren at the park today. Damn, I can't believe I'm doing this. She's my only link to life. I've lost my mind. August 6th. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. My hand budged at the last moment, and I just couldn't kill her. I knew it. I knew that it was like not a case of her bow somehow absorbing the impact and saving her life. Lauren, I knew that I wouldn't be able to go through with it. I knew it from the beginning, back when I just walked into the park last evening. Some passerby with his dog saw me. I hope he didn't manage to see my face. But what's important is for Lauren to not recognize me. During the day, I went to see Lauren at the hospital, but I didn't find the strength in me to go up to her ward. I just stood under the windows. I learned from the police that she was all right and left. I feel terrible. I can't even look in the mirror without feeling disgusted. This never happened after other attacks. I know why. That's because they were some featureless half-bloods, alien and useless, but this was Lauren. But I still need a soul. I went to the Silverlight Mansion again and found out there won't be many guards there. Expect me over tonight, Mia. August 7th. I failed. Ascot Silverlight was there. If it weren't for him, I would have done the job. He knows about the silent sorrow. He knows about my illness. I felt him look inside me and see my pain. Damn, that's bad. Not to mention the detective, the Dark Elf. Now they'll be searching for my new body. But I found another half-blood. It's a servant from a nearby mansion. Just one soul, and I won't die. If I don't give up then, I'll never die at all. The diary entries stop at this point. That's a fun little extra. So yeah, that was Never Give Up. I think we will be back with this game next week at the same time as this stream was. So that's starting at 11 a.m. my time. So check down in the doobly-doo for what time that is in your area. But we'll come back and we'll try and get some of the other endings, see what else is in there. But yeah, we finally managed to join the Necromancer next time. I do wonder how the other endings are going to be. What happens when we pick the other ones? At least we'll be able to pick someone more appropriate to our age. Seriously, a 30-year-old man dating an 18-year-old. That's an age difference of what, 12 years? Yeah. Oh well. It's like Hollywood. Yes, exactly. Exactly.